Cloud. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome to our masterclass today. Today is the last day, day 7 of the Power Author Challenge, but it is also our masterclass. It is our training. It is our workshop around going from idea to bankable book. So those of you who have been with me for the entire time this week with our Power Author Challenge, you're going to see that some of what I'm talking about today is building upon what you've gone through. Those of you who are brand new to us and this is your first time being in one of our trainings, you're going to get some major ahas as to how your book is going to be framed, the framework that is necessary to make your book be a success, and how whatever success is to you, and how we're going to make it a reality, right? So we're going from idea to reality. So today I'm going to teach a specific thing around how to make your first $10,000 with your book without becoming a bestseller. So your first $10,000 with your book without becoming a bestseller, plus how you're going to leave a written legacy for generations to come. So if you all are super excited and you're ready to go, type into the chat box, yes, let's go, I'm ready, let's hit it. So let's see, Dr. Anissa, grateful, happy Friday, blessed Friday, yay. Ada, I'm setting sail to my life as a best-selling author, awesome, love it. Yes, let's go, ready to go, let's go, let's go, awesome, awesome, awesome. And those of you who did not put anything that you're grateful for into the chat box, I want you to think right now, what is something that you're grateful for? Type it into the chat box. Get those type of emotions flowing, right? Get those emotions flowing. Start to recognize and get all the metaphysical properties of being in the space of gratitude. You deserve that for yourself. So type into the chat box what you are grateful for, what you are grateful for. All right, all right, all right, all right. So today is all about making bank. It's all about making bank. And I'm just gonna push this down just a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still see. You guys can still see my screen? Everything is still good? Okay, good. All right, today is about making bank. And everything I'm teaching you all is coming from our Power Author Academy. So I'm going to tell to you about the Power Author Academy, how you can get more support with your project going forward. But right now, I want you to tell us where you're joining from. And what I mean is like your geographical location. Where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from? Now, the reason I do this is because, as you all know, or those of you who are new to me, you will soon come find out, I do believe in like the metaphysical world. And I have found that when I connect to people who have the same wavelength of positivity and support and love for all, like when I connect to those people, whether they be in my own city or halfway across the globe, my own inner sense of self and light begins to evolve, and my own sense of inner self and light starts to just get brighter and brighter and brighter. So we're going to invite that same thing into us right now. So when you see someone else's city, so we have Arizona, right? When you see someone else's city or state, I want you to then pretend, imagine, if you will, that you are connected to that state, that city, that location, that country. There's a line from you to them, and you are connected. So we're going to be creating what I call like a web of love, a web of support, a web of positivity, right? A web. We're going to create that, and we're going to stay in that space. So Colorado, awesome. I'm in Michigan, Abu Dhabi, the Emirates, Phoenix, Arizona, in the house. Dearborn, Michigan, awesome, awesome. California, yes. So every time you hear a state, I want you to literally imagine now there's a line from you to them. Can you feel it? Like, can you feel that line? Like there's a line from me to you, and I'm all the way in Michigan. And there's a line now from you to every other person who is either with us live right now, or is watching the replay, or is connected to us on Facebook right now, okay? All right? So I want you to feel that for yourself. Feel that for yourself. Now, Atlanta, awesome. But Texas, hey, okay, great, great, great. Awesome. So I want you again to be present We've already seen that, like, Zarina speaks fast and Zarina drops gems like that. So you got to be ready, right? You have to be ready. For those of you who are like trying to multitask and do 15 different things, not right now. I think you can agree with me that you get a lot more out of things when your focus is on them, right? So I'm going to invite you right now to focus. And I'm going to invite you right now to give the gift to yourself of helping move your dream to having your best-selling book, your legacy book, your business building book out there, right? This is one of your dreams. This is one of your desires. So give yourself the gift of focus during the time that we have right now. I'm going to gift to you all at the end of today. I have a checklist that we've been putting together that kind of gives you an overview of the publishing process. And so those of you who stay with us to the end, I'm going to be gifting you all that today. So we just wanted to be able to give you some extra incentives to stay up and be, engaged and keep it going. All right. So we're not doing this, right? We're not going to be trying to do 15 different things anymore, okay? That's not us. All right, so I have some prizes for today. We have a free book cover that I'm going to be giving away. I have a free one-on-one private book planning session that I'm going to be giving away. And I also have free admission into the Power Author Academy. So I'm also going to be giving that away as well. So I'm going to share with you all, those of you who are already in the challenge, you already know like how you got entered. You got entered by doing your homework. You got entered by being present. You got entered by, showing up and doing the stuff, right? So 3 of you lucky winners are going to win today, and that will come at the end of today as well. Remind me, because I think I forgot to put the slide in with the faces or whatever. So remind me so I don't forget to share. I'm sure you all won't forget, but remind me. All right, so today is all about books. It's all about books. It's about taking your knowledge, your skills, your ideas, and putting them into a book so that you can A, build your business or your movement, B, leave a written legacy, or C, help humanity, right? Help humanity. So I know that if you're here, that God has placed on your heart something, right? An idea, this feeling that you need to get it out there. And so we want to help you spread your message in the ways that you want to be able to do so, right? You want to be able to do so. So in the United States alone, like over 300,000 books, both new editions and like re-releases, are published every year. At least 300,000, and that number is growing, right? 300,000. So what helps those authors, those people who finish their book, what helped them stand apart from the 80% of the population that say that they want a book? Like, how did these people actually do it? So each one of these books on the screen, they represent an individual, right? An author. They represent an idea. They represent a mind, but they also represent passion and determination, right? They represent someone who said, I'm going to do it. Not just I'm going to think about doing it, I'm actually going to do it. So we want to be able to pull that passion into ourselves, right? Pull that determination into ourselves, pull that sense of tenacity into ourselves so that we don't just think about it, but we go ahead and do the thing, right? We get it done. So today we're going to cover like 3 common mistakes or problem areas that many new authors fall pitfall to. And this is to allow you to avoid those mistakes so that you can be holding your book up, right? Let me get one of my books. So that you can be holding your book, right? This is what we want. We want your name down there. We want your idea out of your head and down onto paper, right? That's what it's all about. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is like the 90-day book draft, right? So this is like the overwhelm-free method to writing your book and killing writer's block. We're going to go into that first. The second thing is that we're going to talk about the subculture. As you know, as many of you know, I am an anthropologist, and so our focus is on the subculture. That is a big focus of how we are successful with what we do. So it goes against the grain of what traditional publishing teaches. Traditional publishers try to make you think that you have to be a New York Times bestseller, you have to get on Wall Street list, the best-selling list, and all of those things in order to be successful. That's not true. You can have a great impact, and we're going to talk about exactly how that looks. And then the third thing today, we're going to talk about like the Bankable Book, right? The Bankable Book. And this, for me, with you all, is how to make your first $10,000 with your book, even if you don't become a bestseller, even if you sell very few copies. All right. Sound good? Everybody with me? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So first thing I want to do is let's lay a spiritual foundation. Let's lay a spiritual foundation for ourselves, for our space, for our dreams, for our project. So I use the word God. You can use whatever word feels comfortable for you, or you can eliminate that word. But I want you all to say it to yourself, right? You're going to say it out loud, I should say. Say it out loud, but you don't have to unmute yourself. But say it out loud and repeat after me, okay? Repeat after me. So center yourself. Deep breath. Exhale. Do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. All right. So repeat after me. Oh God, please bless me to do good with my message. Please use me in your service and make this book of benefit to me, my family, and the community. Amen, amen, ashe. All right. So whatever you feel like you need to call in, call it in for yourself. If you've been distracted this week and some things have been pulling on your energy, ask God to block those things from you. If you have been just having an amazing week and you want that to keep going, ask God to keep the fun, keep the excitement, keep those things with you. So whatever you feel at any moment, getting in tune with yourself and your emotions and all of that is all a part of becoming a power author. It's all a part of using your uniqueness and the strength that you have as a human being to design the life that you want, and by therefore designing our society, right? So call in whatever it is that you feel you need to have right now. And feel free to put that into the chat box. Like if you're feeling something, I need this, we can also pray for you to have that, right? This is a collective. So if you feel like you need something, allow us to pray for you and send you positive energy. So put that into the chat box if you feel that you need something specific or so. All right, and I'm going to ask all of you all to make sure that you are muted. Make sure that all of you are muted. So let me do that. And then let me see if I can actually just mute all. And then I'm going to, okay, so yeah, there we go. All right, so awesome. So you all lay the spiritual foundation for yourselves. Okay, so today I want to tell you a little bit about like how this all came about for me. I had a couple of questions. People were kind of asking me like, okay, Zarina, like you travel all around the world, you do all this cultural stuff. Like how did this publishing thing actually come about? And for me, it started in the classroom. I was doing my master's thesis in anthropology. And as you know, when you're doing a thesis, you have to do a lot of research. So I was doing surveys, I was doing interviews, I was reading article upon article and book upon book, right? I was doing all of this research in order to be able to write up the study that I was producing, that I was going for, right? And so I spent, my master's program was 2 years. I spent about, over a year, really, I would say about 18 months or so, really putting a lot of energy into that paper. This was a requirement for me to be able to graduate, right? So I put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours and time and energy into the research and writing for that paper. Now, when I finished my thesis, I would tell you, I was super excited. You have to defend it. You have to stand up in front of your professors and show if it's good or not. So I was super duper excited. And it was a source of pride, not only for me, but it was also a source of pride for my community, because what I was doing was not only for myself. Everything I do is, I've learned, is not only for myself, right? It's always for how is it going to be useful for those around me. And so the thesis was the same way. It wasn't supposed to be only for myself. However, if you're familiar with academia, you know that most theses end up in the library collecting dust, and pretty much nobody ever reads them again. It's like you did that for the paper and that was pretty much it. Like that was the purpose and it served its purpose and you're done. But for me, I knew I needed something different because people kept emailing me, asking me about the results of my study. People would see me at my local places of worship and they would ask me about the study. And so because I had put the study out there, they wanted to know what were the results. And of course, I did the entire thing, not only for my own master's, right? It was supposed to be for the other people. However, nobody wanted to read my thesis. They were like, no, like nobody wanted to read it. So I was like, well, what do I do? So I was like trying to figure out like exactly what am I going to do, because nobody wants to read the thesis. But I put a whole bunch of time up in that thing. So, hey, like, you know, like, what do you want me to do? So I finally figured out that it wasn't sexy enough. Like the thesis, it didn't excite them, you know? So I said, okay, I'm gonna have to actually put this into a real book format in order for people to actually want to get the information that I put forward, right? And so I had no clue how to publish, none at all. I did not have any other authors in my local community or in my network. You know, I had my professors, but they were kind of boring, right? So I knew I didn't want to do it like them. So I didn't know what to do. I tried to go the traditional route because that was what I thought you had to do when you publish, like you go the traditional route. So I was doing all this research, and what I found was that one, they wanted me to have an agent. Two, if I did it, it was going to actually take, uh-oh, somebody is calling me. Oh, it's my kid. Let me stop him. Stop, Issa, stop. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Let me see. Okay, so I'll call my kid back later. Don't worry. He's with his dad, so he's fine. So what I was focused on, you know, with my with trying to figure out like what was I going to do, was that I had to start doing all this research. And when I hit up Google and when I hit up YouTube, you know, I was overwhelmed with all the different things. And I found out that traditional publishing was going to take me like 18 to 24 months. And I was like, oh no, man, I already did that thesis. That was already 2 years in my life. I'm not about to spend another 2 years like just trying to get the thing out. Like I didn't want to do that. So entered self-publishing. And when I found self-publishing, I was like, ah, it was like a little angel came, because I could do it on my own time. I could do it in my own way. And no one was going to try to change the content of my book. And that was very important to me. That was extremely important to me. I didn't want anybody changing my message. I didn't want anybody trying to make it more palatable for the masses. I wanted to say what I wanted to say, and that was it, right? So that's what happened with my knowledge. So I joined all these programs. I invested in every book on self-publishing and traditional publishing, on writing, on all of these different things. And I ended up being able to publish my book after a lot of heartache and a lot of pain and a lot of wasted time, I would say, and more. So how is he still calling me? How is he still calling me? Because I could have sworn okay, hopefully he stops calling me. I don't know how he's still calling me. But so I think so anyway, I don't know. I think he might be here, but I'm not 100% sure. Hold on, guys. I think that he's at the door. Hold on 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. Motherhood duties. So the kids do still come first. And they always will, right? They always will. So what happened, after I did all of that, I was able to actually produce my first book, which was Jihad of the Soul. And so this book laid the foundation for what I learned, my trials and errors, all of that. It laid the foundation for what came into being like the Power Author Academy. It all started from there. So when I published that first book, I went and I promoted at different conferences. I shared it out to different people, and people began to like it. And I went from just being a regular, grad student, and I started actually getting invited. Now, when I'm telling you my story, I'm not just telling you my story just to like brag or do any of those things. I want you to see the natural, like the organic progression, if you will, of what happened with my book. Because with your book, there is going to be like an organic progression of things that happen. And you may plan for many of them, but you may not plan for all of them. And so I want you to see like how it kind of unfolded for me. So I started getting invited to do speaking engagements. I started getting invited to be on the media. People would come out and interview me about both the topic that I wrote on and my other passion projects. And that's important. The book elevated my status, not just in the subject that I was writing in, but just like in general, And that's a game changer, because everything I do now built upon all of those other things. So one of my favorite things ever, favorite opportunities, favorite perks that I got was I started getting invited to do international stuff. And if you know me, you know I love the world, right? So when I got an email asking me to come all the way to Dubai, to Sharjah, right, to present at the Sharjah International Book Fair, that's where I met Tiara, I think. I think that was the first time I met her. So when I got invited to present at that book fair, I was presenting on a passion project that I had published on, and they found that, and they invited me, and they paid for me to come out there, paid for my flight, paid for my food, and gave me a stipend. And once that happened, I was like, oh, there's no turning back. Like there is no turning back. Like I can't go back to the way I used to do things anymore, right? That was no longer an option for me. So Bermuda, other places started inviting me and paying for me to come. And it all built off of that initial first book. If I had not published that initial first book, I already know, like, it wouldn't be like this, right? So I went on to publish other things like calendars and all of the like, right? So I used the skills I had from that initial project to parlay into other projects, all related, all related. So now when people look at my CV or my resume or whatever, they call it, they say, they see all of these different opportunities, presented in Dubai and Bermuda, published all these different books, take many of my clients to bestseller. I should actually update this. These are old numbers now. One of our books, we were able to bring in 37,000 before the book was even published, right? I've been able to reach over 15,000 people through my publications, through our social media challenges, been featured on NPR, Fox, Channel 4, Free Press, all of that stuff. And I did my first TEDx talk this year. So I'm telling you, I feel pretty dope, but I feel pretty blessed, and I feel thankful that I found this publishing thing, because literally it changed my entire life. It changed my entire life. So I'm very, very, very thankful and in a space of gratitude, for that. But again, like my kid that keeps calling me, everything I do is centered around like my loves, right? Like these are my kids, these are my responsibilities. And what I found is that the things that I was doing, the seeds that I was planting, I hope that they also can then be able to pick them up, and they will be able to go to the next level from all of the things that I'm doing, right? Like that's our ultimate goal. So what I discovered though with publishing is that your book, it becomes like a worker bee for you. So it becomes something that goes out there and brings you opportunities. It brings you media. It brings you different ways of people coming into your network and your community, right? And those are the things that really change your entire life. So here's one of our clients. Her name is Dr. Alexandria Osborne. She is a retired woman from Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is where I used to work. And she now lives in Tanzania. So she lives in Tanzania off the grid. And she came to us because she had this really unique story, you know, of retiring and then moving halfway across the world, but not to live in the city. She lives like in the bush, as she calls it, the most rural, dense area of Eastern, Southern Africa. And so that was a very unique experience. People wanted to know how she did that. They wanted to know, how did you even get water? Like, you live off of the ocean. Like, how are you getting free water or clean water to drink and those types of things, electricity, all of that. So what she did was she began to compile her notes, compile her thoughts, and then she rolled up her story into the book called The Black Mzungu. Mzungu is a word that's usually used for like white tourists to Tanzania. And because she was kind of light skinned, they used to call her like the Black Mzungu. So she wrote this book for her subculture, right? Her people, the people who are going to be interested in that. Folks who want to move to Africa, perhaps, people who are interested in the diaspora, and then also, you know, the local folks there. So she went from just retired, and then local media started picking it up. So now her book is in the local bookstores of the area, Tanzania, right? Of course, it's available for Amazon and all of those things, but the media also started to pick up her story. So here is her company that she used to work for. Pfizer employee writes book about moving to rural Tanzania. So when you put your stuff out there, you'll find that it's interesting, like when you position it, right? And then it leads to other opportunities. So writing a book is like being spoon-fed opportunities on a silver platter. And don't we all like it like easy? Like, if you can just spoon feed me like I'm a baby and I'm gonna get everything I need, hey, you know, I'll take it. So today we're gonna talk about how to bring that silver platter, right, to life. And with eliminating those three things that I mentioned earlier, many of the problems, I want you to be able to write your book quickly. I want you to know exactly how to attach with the subculture. And then I want you to know how to make bank, right? Those are my intentions for today. You can hold me accountable for those three things for today. So with this coming from our self-publishing system, I want to give you just a quick overview of what is the process for the five-step process we go through for a book. We lay the foundation, we write, we edit, we publish, and we launch. And of course, you can't do any of that if your mindset is jacked up, right? So we always address mindset with everything that we do. So for you, you're in the right place here if you are a socially conscious person. I resonate best with people who have a triple bottom line type of way of dealing with life. You know, you're about your bank, that's perfectly fine. You know, you're about legacy, but you're also about the society as well. So if you're a service provider, a coach, an entrepreneur, a business owner, nonprofit leader, community organizer, maybe an educator, you know, you're someone who I said operates with a triple bottom line, you are in the right place. You're not in the right place if you, A, want to write a book that is only about how much money you're going to make. Like, if you're not really considered about thinking about the society and things like that, you won't really resonate with everything that I'm saying. And there's plenty of people out there who are only focused on the money. So I bid you well. Like, you can go and work with one of them and you're going to be perfectly fine. I just want you to know that our process here is interwoven with the ways that we're going to make an impact in society. And that is a big focus of our approach. All right. So, number one. All right, so the overwhelm-free method of book writing, So let me tell you how this came about, right? So as you see, I'm a mom, right? I have kids. I don't really have a lot of time. Like, I don't even own my time anymore, right? Certain things come up where I have to stretch, or I have to move, or I have to do these things. So after I published my first book, you know, people were coming up to me and they were asking me if I could help them write their book too, right? That would be natural. You see somebody else like, oh, can you help me? You know, and on the outside, I was like, sure, I can help you, you know, of course. But on the inside, I was really just trying to figure it all out on my own. You know, remember, I was hitting up Google at the time. I was hitting up YouTube. I had like bought every book there was on self-publishing. Like, you know, I was in all of the associations and all of that stuff. So my first book took me like 18 months to write. And I knew that that was not going to be a viable option, right? I knew that they did not have time like that. So I went back. I went back to all the books that I read. I went back to all the clubs that I was in, all the resources that I used when I was learning how to self-publish my book and, you know, learning how to write and put things together. And I looked for the fastest way to write a book. And what I found is that there's really only one easy way to actually go from idea to written book. Can you guess what that is? Some of you are like, yeah, no. And that is to write it one chapter at a time. Now, I know you may be thinking, like, Zarina, obviously you only write one chapter at a time, but really no. Like, think about this. How many of you all feel a little bit overwhelmed by the thought of writing an entire book? If that's you, type it into the chat box. Like, yeah, I've been worried about that. Like, overwhelmed a little bit, because it can be pretty scary, right? It can definitely be pretty scary. But let me ask you this. Do you think that you could take just one, could you write a sentence? Could you write one sentence about your book, possibly? Could that happen? Could you talk about your book? Could you talk about your expertise? Could you talk about the things you're passionate about for an hour? How many of you all, when somebody asks you a question, like, you can go? It's just like, you can go, right? So you can do that. So do you think that if you could talk about just a certain topic, could you pick out like maybe the important parts of what it is that you're talking about? You probably could, right? And then could you possibly go just a little bit deeper into one of those topics? Maybe, probably so. And that's really all that writing a book needs to be. You never need to go write the entire thing all at once. You just take it one step at a time. One step at a time. So writing a book is really kind of like going through a class. So imagine you went to a college class and your professor was like, okay, class, you all have a test on the entire textbook the next day. You would probably be freaking out and you would try to study like crazy, but you're going to fail anyway. And that's how most people try to write a book, right? They try to think about 60,000 words, 200 pages. Oh my God. And it's too much. It's too much. It's too heavy. And it ends up never getting done, right? But really the only way to write your book without getting stuck or stuck in overwhelm is to imagine that you walk into that same class, right? And your professor says, okay, class, you all have a test on just 3 pages of the textbook for the next day. 3 pages, right? You could probably go and read the 3 pages, right? And you can probably ace the test. Why? Because it's a small bite-sized chunk that you're working on. You're not working on the entire book at once, trying to read the entire book. So it's the exact same thing when writing a book, okay? So the method that we use is really the only way to be able to get your book out without overwhelm and without writer's block. And it's coming up now. So you guys, I want to make sure you have some pen and paper for this part. So this is what we do when we're working through our books. There's 3 steps. We brainstorm. I also say brain dump. You're going to hear me say it interchangeably. But we brainstorm, then we outline, and then we write. Okay? We brainstorm, then we outline, and then we write. So now what used to take me like 18 months to do, the students in our Power Author Academy can write their books in 90 days, you know, or less, right? Some of them are even going after our 45-day accelerated writing plan. But what's even cooler is that the books come out more organized and more fluent than before. They come out better, and the quality is always where it's at. So the first step, brain dumping, right? Brain dumping. Everybody knows what brainstorm is, right? You all know what brainstorm. Everybody's kind of familiar with that term. Brainstorm, brainstorm, brainstorm. So when you have your topic that you're thinking about writing, right? And in the Power Author Academy, of course, we go over how to create and find the best topic for you. But once you have your topic, the next step is to brain dump around that topic. So we literally get a blank sheet of paper. We put our topic at the top, and we just shake our head up and put whatever we feel is relevant to that topic. We get it down and we get it out onto the paper, right? We get it down and we get it out onto the paper. Now, there's a key thing that you need to do when you're brainstorming and when you're brain dumping. And that key thing is that you don't second guess yourself. You actually treat yourself like a toddler. You treat yourself like a toddler. So let's say you have a toddler that was trying to draw something or whatever, and it may not come out right? But you're like, oh, good job, you did it, you know? You give them encouragement because you see that they're trying. So I want you to get into the habit of being gentle with yourself and treating yourself like a toddler with this. So don't second guess, oh, that was stupid, none of that, right? Just get it out, get it in your head, and get it down onto the paper. So we're gonna try that right now. We're gonna try that right now. You guys ready? We're gonna do a little brainstorming, brain dumping on your topic, okay, on your topic. So what I want you all to do is use your paper right at the top, like your topic, and then I just want you to get whatever it is that you're thinking out, get it down onto paper. So for example, like with, let's say we were writing a book on marriage, and let's say, okay, I want to talk about communication. I want to talk about finances. I want to talk about like blended families. I want to talk about in-laws. I want to talk about like compromise. I want to talk about, you know, working together. You know what I mean? Like you just get whatever it is that you're thinking about, just shake it up. 1 word, 2 word, no, it doesn't have to be perfect sentences. This is not that. And just get it down onto the paper. All right, so we're gonna go and you're gonna have maybe a few minutes, just a few minutes or so, 5 minutes to brain dump here. I might cut it down to 2 or 3 though, so we'll see. All right, keep going, keep going, keep going. Just try to like get it out, push yourself. All right, we're gonna do like 1 more minute. When you're just about there, type into the chat box. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, good, good, good. I see 2. That's good. Good. All right, awesome. Okay, so how'd you feel with that? How'd you feel? Like, are you starting to see like some of the content that's going to come together for your book? It is really literally that easy, you all. Like once you start to do some of the mental push-ups with your book and you start to see the ways that you want to go, like the brain will actually start to connect and make connections. Sure, there are going to be times where you need to fill things in, but that comes with time, right? That comes with time. So you stay on the step that you're on and you move to the next step. So after you do your initial big brain dump, the next thing that you do is that you look at that paper, you see what's on there, and you start to pull out the big topics, the big main idea. You pull those out, right? You pull out the main ideas. And so you may end up, depending on whatever you're writing on, you may end up with 5 to 12, main, bigger subjects, bigger sub-subjects, bigger topics that you want to address underneath your book idea, right? So you pull each of those out. And then guess what you do? Guess what comes next? You then go back and you brain dump on each of those main topics. So going back to my example about the marriage, right? So if I say, okay, communication, finances, household, all of these different things. So communication is a big topic, right? So I pull communication out. Now I have a blank sheet of paper with communication, right, at the top. And then what am I going to do? Shake my head up and brain dump all about communication. Brain dump all about that main topic, right? Now, when I look at that, so now I have a list of things under communication that I know I want to talk about. Guess what I do next? Repeat. So I go through that list and then I pull out some of the subtopics that I want to talk about as far as communication. And then I'm literally just flushing it out. I'm just answering those, I'm explaining those different items, right? So it goes from big and you start to progressively get more and more in tune with each of the smaller areas that you want to discuss in your book. This is for a process book. This is for a how-to book. This can also be, for a memoir as well. It starts to help you, frame that, okay? So with that, if you need to, you can go back and do a brain dump again on each one of those explanation areas, right? You can go back and do a brain dump again. Whenever you feel like you're stuck or you don't quite know which way to go, brain dumping is one of the best exercises that you can do. Always. It's one of the best things that you can do. One, it allows your brain to start to warm up, but then two, like as things start to come to you, you get them down on paper and you don't feel like an idea may get lost or any of that, like it's down there. You may not address it right now. You may find you don't want to do that, but it's down there on the paper. All right, is this making sense? You all getting it? Okay, so if you're getting it, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, type that into the chat box. Like, yes, it's making sense. I'm getting some light bulbs. Are you getting the light bulb? Anytime you have a light bulb, let's use that. Anytime you have a light bulb moment, drop it in there and say light bulb, okay? All right, so your brain dump becomes your outline and your outline becomes your table of contents, okay? So your brain dump becomes the outline becomes the table of contents, and from the table of contents, that then it gets flushed out. It may not all be in order perfectly yet, right? But the table of contents gives us an idea of a roadmap for what we're doing in this book. And then I can set a writing schedule from that, right? I can say, okay, well, I have 7 chapters? Maybe I have 7 chapters. I have an introduction, a conclusion, and maybe 7 main topics that I want to discuss. So I have introduction, my 7 main topics, and my conclusion, right? I have 9 parts to my book. So I can say, okay, if I want to write, 1 chapter a week, then that's 9 weeks, right? That's 9 weeks. So you can come in and then you can start to kind of lay out some timing based off of what it is that you're going to do in your book, the type of book that you selected, all of that, right? So it gives you a framework to work from so that you're not all over the place. So one of my editors that I used to bring in, his name was Omar. He used to always say this corny thing, and it was so funny. He was like, well, Zarina, how do you eat an elephant? And I was like, I don't eat elephants, Omar, like, I don't know. And he was like, it's one bite at a time. Ha, ha, ha. And I was like, yes, that's true, So when you're looking at your book, you do it one step at a time. Doing and following our process, especially within the Power Author Academy, the reason our students are able to get their things done is when they follow the steps. When our students don't succeed, and I'll be honest with you, not all 100% of our students succeed. And I used to get really bummed about that. I felt like it was me, but it's because they did not follow the steps. Like they did not follow the steps. Either they thought they were so smart, they could do it a different way or whatever. But when you follow the steps, like you're able to get it done. So we keep on the step that you're on. So here is Zarina Elamine Majid. Yes, we have two of the same names. She is one of our beautiful authors out of California. Never written a book before in her life, you know, never had written anything longer than I guess a term paper or anything like that, right? Retired, great grandmother of several, you know, children. She has 9 children. And so that can tell you how many, you know, grandchildren and great grandchildren she has. So she was able to change her life, and she really felt called to talk to people about the subconscious mind. She wanted to be able to share with other women who had been through trauma, traumatic experiences and things, how they could literally change their entire life. And she put together her book, Your Incredible Mind, utilizing this exact same process, because she had been trying for years and years and years. You know, she would sit down and try. She knew the subject that she wanted to talk about, but the words just weren't coming together. So we used this exact same step, brain dumping, then going into organizing and outlining, and then starting to write, right? And that's the only way she was actually able to get her stuff done. So baby steps and chunking it down is where it's at. Like this is where it's at, all right? This is where it's at. Now, for how many of you, you know, we talked about this because some people don't like typing. And I know that some people never really learned, you know, JK, JK, JKK, you know, like no, some people never really learned all of those things as far as typing. So if you don't like typing, we don't allow that to stop us though. We don't allow anything that may be a technological slowdown to stop us. So for you, once you have your outline set, once you have your table of contents built, then you're going to just talk each of those explanations. You're going to talk your explaining out, right? So you're going to just dictate it out. Never, ever, ever, because I hear it all the time, and this is why I'm reiterating it to you. It may sound like it's super simple, but I always have somebody that comes back and they're like, oh, well, my computer is not good, or my Microsoft Word wasn't working, or this and this and this and this. And all of those are honestly excuses. They're all excuses. Like focus on what you do have. And if you have the desire to get this done, you can make it happen. Okay. So if you suck with words, you can't write it all, just imagine you're talking to a friend, and that's how you're going to get your first draft down. Okay. So I want you to be like Amanda and move on it. Move on it. So this is Amanda. She met me at a conference, and she was so excited about doing her book, and she liked my philosophy. Da, da, da. So she bought my digital copy. She bought my book, and she bought the digital copy. And literally on the way home, she mapped out her book on the flight. Like on the flight home, she mapped out her book. And so this was her, because inside the book, inside the Power Author Academy, like there are little things I tell you to do as far as like pre-launching and selling. So this was her here, like giving an announcement about her book out to her folks. But what did she do? She just didn't get my book and just look at it like, oh, that's nice. That chick wrote a book. Like she took action, right? She took action. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to take action. And it's easy when you know exactly what to do. So is this good? Everybody feeling good so far? Everybody feeling good? Okay. All right, good. All right, so we got 2 more things. Today is a little bit longer. We have 2 more things that I want to go into, okay? So now the next thing is that you don't have to be a big name to write a power book, right? Your personal story is enough. So many of us see people like Michelle Obama and all these folks putting their books out, and we're like, I'm not her. I'm not him. I don't have a private jet. I don't have 8 figures. You know what I mean? So you start to see all these different things. You know, I don't have this degree, and you start to put yourself up against them and compare. And that is literally just the devil trying to hold you down. So don't do it. So let me ask you all, how many of you have thought to yourself that no one would maybe want to learn from you, or no one would want to read your book? right? You don't have 1 million followers on Instagram. Your Facebook page is, you don't have a whole bunch of thousands of people on there. Your email list is cold if you're that, right? And so you may start to wonder, like, who the heck am I to actually write this book? However, we don't write for the whole world. We don't write for the whole world. We write for the subculture. Now, what is the subculture? If you think about our entire society, right, and you think about the many different ways that humans can be humans, right, those are different cultures. All these different ways that humans can be humans. And within those cultures, so if we take America, for example, within the American culture, there are many, many, many subcultures, right? Think about the Gothic people who wear black all the time and, they put those piercings and all that kind of stuff. Like, this is a subculture within, right? So you can have subcultures that dress certain ways, but they just think certain ways. And these are distinguishing factors for that particular subculture. You're going to succeed when you focus in on your subculture that is your target audience. Don't worry about the whole world. Like, focus in on your subculture. So here's one of our lawyers turned coaches, but one of our clients. Her name is Kivini. She's the one with the pretty scarf, hanging down her shirt. So Kivini was a lawyer who was just burnt out, didn't really like it, any of that. And she went through this whole personal transformation as far as how she was going to like revamp her life. Then with her success, she decided that she was going to write her book. So we were able to take her ideas. We used a ghostwriter for this particular project. We were able to take her ideas and then compile them into her book, which was Lawyers, Lies, and Labradors, Lawyers, Lies, and Labradors. So her coming from just a regular coach and into an Amazon bestseller, utilizing exactly what I'm teaching you today, the exact same process. So here is Dr. Alexandria again, right? She used this exact same process, okay? So I want you all to think about, what is your subculture, right? What is your subculture? Those of you who are in the Power Author Academy Challenge, you already know, you've thought about this a little bit, right? But has there been any ways that you found it needs to be refined? Did you find difficulties with finding your subculture out there? What was going on for you? So when you identify your subculture, the book is actually going to help you establish your authority. The book is actually going to help you build your name within that group. You know how you can be a celebrity, if you will, to a certain group of people, but nobody else knows you? And that's perfectly fine. So whether you're looking to build your business, or your movement, your book can be the key to that. Here's one of our clients, Salim Mutman, did the exact same process I'm talking to you about today. So he went from teaching Arabic online with this group that he had founded into an Amazon bestseller. He literally sold, over 300 books in a weekend, right? In the weekend. And that book has gone on to create more positive, passive income for him. But bigger than that, more students. Like, it grew his movement. And that was really what he was about, right? So your book also can help you build your legacy. You don't have to do it for the masses, right? It can be for your legacy. So here's one of our clients, Muhammad Kamruzaman. He went from being a retired grandfather who would get these inspirational moments after prayer, and then he moved into being an author with over 1,000 followers. He has more followers than his kids have, right? Never used social media before, any of that. And these are real followers, not like, like there are some ways you can buy followers on social media. That's not this. These are real followers, right? So imagine the satisfaction that he has because he took the inertia, right, to get his book and get it out of his head, down on paper, and then out there into the world. So your book allows you to build up a community of people who are thinking the same or about the same type of things that you want to see happen in the world. And then your authority, right? So your authority. So I want you to think about it for a second. Think about some of the authors that you may know. I'm going to show you some and see if you know some of these. So we have Lisa Nichols, right? Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins, all of these folks. So you see them and you start to think that, like they're pretty up there. But you also hear this whole thing about, I'm not an expert, right? And some people get really worried about that. Like, are you still worried about not being an expert? Anybody have any fear around not being an expert. Or if you say you're an expert, there's going to be certain like levels of expectation from you if you use that word or so. So who has that? Let's put it into the chat box. Anybody have that type of feeling about like being a little bit worried? Because if you say you're an expert, or if you put a book out, you know, people might start judging you or expecting you to be perfect and all that kind of stuff. Right? And so these things kind of come out. Some people say I do at times. Amelia's like, nah, good. Yes, yes. So for myself, what I found was that the people that needed me, you know, my subculture, it didn't matter that I was nobody, right? It didn't matter that I didn't have a big name. None of that mattered. I could still get on the news and still talk about what I wanted to do. The media never asked me how many followers I had, none of that. And why was that? Why was that? It was because I had a purpose. I had a purpose. I was solving a headache for my subculture, right? I became an aspirin. I became an aspirin for my subculture. So if you can diminish the headache of your reader, they will love you for it. You will be useful. And that's what all of us want, right? We want to be useful. So I want you to think about how you can diminish, right? Diminish the headache of your reader so that you can be useful to them. You can be useful to them. And I'll tell you that, like, you can be like this grandma out of, Havana, Cuba, right? You don't have to have the expert title. You do not have to have an expert title in order to have something that is useful for your society and going to be good for them, okay? So here's this chick, she makes me laugh. She's like, I'm not an expert, but I know that's wrong, because you only have to be a couple of steps ahead of the person that you're helping, right? Only a couple of steps. So I want you to think for yourself real quick, like, what's your aspirin, right? How are you going to be useful? How is your book going to be useful? Whether it be entertainment or whether it be centered around something that you're teaching or an idea that you're bringing forth. So we're going to take just 1 minute, and those of you who are already in the challenge, this should be easy. For those of you who are new, this may be a little bit, this may be new. So you may be kind of warming up your head. So let's take 1 minute and go ahead and think about, like, what's your aspirin? We're going to do it quick. So just like 1 minute, 2 minutes maybe. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right. So you want to know, like, your aspirin, right? You want to know how your book is solving a problem for those who are around you. This is going to be a critical thing that helps you really be able to market your book and then attract people to it, because they don't care about you. Only a certain small number of people care about you as the author. They don't care about that. They care about what's in it for me, right? So the more you can get into the mindset of your target audience, your subculture, the better it's going to be for both the production of your book as well as the promotion of your book. So here's our little grandma again, right? And it's like, expert or not, like, we want your story. So you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be somebody that's like so big name, any of that. Like, the virtue of you, you know, what you have to say, your story is enough. And I would tell you, like, even like my grandmother, I don't think my grandmother like was an expert in anything, quote unquote, you know, but if I had a book that she wrote, I would cherish that book. I wish I had a book that my grandmother or my great grandfather. I wish I had something that they wrote, right? And so you get to create that right now for your people. You get to create and give that gift right now, whether it becomes whether it makes your 10,000 we're going to talk about later or not, right? You get to preserve your story and your legacy, because honestly, none of us are promised tomorrow. None of us, none of us are promised tomorrow. So just by virtue of getting this book done, you've done a great thing. Just getting your stuff out there, sharing, you've done a great thing. All right. All right. So everybody with me? Yes, yes, yes. So my definition of expert may not be their definition of expert. Yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I could become an expert, but I don't feel the need to have that authority to write the book I want to write. Yes, right. Your authority comes from your position, your uniqueness. Okay. All right, so we're at the last part of what I want to cover today. So obviously I can't cover everything in this training, but I'm going to try to give you as much as I can. All right, so I want to talk about how to make your first $10,000 from your book, even if you give it away for free. So how many are excited about this part? How many are excited? Type it into the chat, because I actually can't see you all right now. So type it into the chat. How many of you all are excited about learning how to make your first 10,000 from your book, even if you give the book away for free, right? Which means that the book would be an investment. You would be creating the book, you give it away for free, and you make your first 10,000. I know it sounds a little bit weird, because a lot of people are like, what? I don't know about that. So let's go. Here's the thing. Here's the truth about the life that we're in right now, All of you all know and have seen, right? Like, we're on Zoom right now. These types of workshops and things that I'm doing right now, these used to only be in person, right? The fact that now everyone has shifted to online, meetings and all of that, it signals a big, big change. But there's also another big change that happened in our society, and that is the shift from just purchasing tangible, physical commodities, into the purchasing more of knowledge. Like, the information industry is absolutely booming. The information industry is absolutely booming, meaning people are now willing to invest in getting information and knowledge and skills that they want to know. They are more apt to get that, not just thinking that they can only go to college, right? That was how it was before. You want to learn something, you only pay for a class at a college or a university or something like that. No longer. The information industry is booming. If you all use social media, if you start seeing the ads and stuff that people are selling to you, how many of them are for learn this or how to do such and such, right? So people want to know what you know. They want to know what you know. So the sharing of knowledge has become really, I guess, one of the most effective ways to positively impact lives. So you are able to achieve next level success and experience really true fulfillment during this type of economic shift by sharing that which you know, right? All right, so here's the thing, and this is how I kind of learned this for myself, even before COVID. I'm much more focused and strategic now with the way that I do my business and the way that I, work with my time and all of that. But in the beginning, when I was with publishing, I was really solely focused on book sales, right? So many of you all may have thought the same, right? How much money am I going to make per book? That's what I want to know. You hear about royalties all the time. So I thought that being a bestseller, selling 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 books, I thought that was where it's at. I thought that's what you do. And so I used to say stuff like, all right, if I sell 5,000 books at $6 profit each one, then I'm going to make $30,000, baby. It was like, hey, this is going to be the bomb. And so that sounded really good. But then I started realizing with the opportunities that were coming to me that getting paid speaking engagements brought something different. Okay, so it took a lot less energy to get a $2,000 speaking engagement than it was for me to sell 2,000 books. Did you catch that? It took a lot less energy for me to get a one $2,000 speaking engagement than it was for me to sell 2,000 books. So at my first job, I remember I was making like $36,000 a year because, you know, I left computers and went into the humanities, all that stuff. And I remember thinking like, man, they're gonna pay me $2,000 to run my mouth to talk. And I used to get paid just like $36,000 for the whole year. It was like a game changer. And so I realized that it's way bigger than book royalties. It's way bigger than book royalties. My book was attracting opportunities, and I could actually get big results with few sales from my book. I could get big results with few sales from my book. And this is why, my friends, I'm not really caught up on being just a bestseller. Like, that's not really my thing. My thing is the impact that I'm making. How deep is the impact that I'm making? And then for myself, like, what is the return, yes, that I'm going to get off of my efforts, right? Off of my efforts. But once I realized that I could do that with a small quality number of people versus just like all over, it was a game changer. So I want to give you a few examples of some different ways that you can look at like what's going to happen beyond your book, all right? Beyond your book. For some of you, this is going to be different. For some of you, this entire section may be irrelevant. You may be just focused on legacy, and that's perfectly fine. My job is to give you the options, right? So that you can pick and we can design the way that you want your project to be, all right? All right, so here's one example here. So we have a book on Japanese catering. We have a book on Japanese catering. And that book leads to a $2,500 online course for Japanese caterers who want to know how to increase their clientele. Like, they want to get high-end clientele, okay? So the book is on the art of Japanese catering, but it's geared towards attracting Japanese caterers, not just like people who like Japanese food, but Japanese caterers who want to get high-end clientele, okay? So four students in that program, just four students, right, is the first $10,000. And let's say they do that just that year, just 1 year. Of course, they can repeat it and repeat it. 4 students. Do you think they could find 4 students out of the whole, you know, system, right? 4 people that want to learn this skill that they have, okay? All right, let me show you the next one. So graphic design. So here's a graphic designer, right? And so they launch a membership program for other graphic designers, and they charge $97 a month for this membership program. They have 100 members in the program, and they give them good information every month. They teach a new skill or whatever. And so they're pulling in $9,700 a month from this membership program, right? So the first one was $2,500. This one is a $97 a month, $97, right? $97 a month. Subscription-based programs are very popular now because people are accustomed to paying Netflix. You know, people pay by the month for a lot of different stuff. So this type of subscription model is a popular model now, okay? So of course, they can increase the number of members and keep growing that. And so that adds on every year, every year, every year. So here's an example by a guy that's pretty well known for some of you, maybe not for some of you, but pretty well known. So he runs a company called ClickFunnels. It's a service I use in my business, and one that we help our clients to use as well. So he wrote these 2 books, which are like the foundation of his philosophy. And then it goes and leads people into using the software. And the software is like $300 a month, right? So he took his books and used this unorthodox way of building up a software company, and he built that company into a $100 million company in like just a few years, all on the back of the book though, that he gives away for free. All on the back of the book that he gives away for free, okay? So here's me, right? I talked to you about speaking engagements a little bit earlier. So at the minimum, well, I won't say at the minimum. When I first started, I wasn't getting paid $2,000 because I was just happy just to get like a $200 check or whatever. I would be like, hey. So I wasn't always getting paid $2,000 at the very beginning. It wasn't until later that I started to know more about my worth, and I started to see more of the budgets of universities and such, that I started to demand what I actually should be getting paid. Because best to believe, like, they're bringing in people all the time that are getting paid way more than this, $10,000, $15,000 honorariums, and it's normal. is normal. So never try to cheapen yourself out or think that, oh, I'm not worth it. Nope. You ask for what it is that you want. If they can't do that and you're willing to negotiate, then that's your prerogative. But you ask for what you're worth. So, you know, 5 talks a year, then you have your first 10,000, right? 5 talks a year, you have your first 10,000. So Kivani, I showed you her earlier, right? So Kivani does coaching. She does one-to-one coaching. She doesn't like a big business. Kivani is not like someone that wants a big business. She wants a few high-end clients that she's able to work with very deep, and that's how she likes her business. You know, we get kind of caught up. Some people think you got to have this business with 3,000 employees, all of that stuff. Not everybody wants that. She's an example. So, you know, some of the VIP days, $3,000 a day where people are working with her intimately, right? So roughly 4 of those clients, and she's made her first $10,000, right? So let me give you one off the wall example, because some people are kind of like, well, this is maybe some examples about business or this or this. It works for everything. You can adopt this to anything that you do. So here's a guy, you know, who teaches people how to bowl. He is like a master bowler. He's bowling 300 every Wednesday night, right? So he started doing workshops for other bowlers, and he does 1 workshop a month. He takes 2 workshops off a year. So Christmas, he ain't working, right? And then his birthday month, he ain't doing no workshop either at that time. So he does 10 workshops a year, okay? He gets 20 people, 20 bowlers in every workshop, and they pay $50 to come to that workshop. So this is a workshop he's doing 10 times a year, just 1 time a month, and that's how he's bringing in his extra $10,000, right? All off of the book that he wrote, which was 300, How to Bowl a Perfect Game, right? Okay, so are you seeing it? Light bulbs going off? Are light bulbs going off for you? Light bulbs should be like firing off right now, right? Firing off for you all. So I want you to think about for yourself, what could you do? What could you possibly do as far as getting your first $10,000? What's that going to look like for you? So you're going to take like a few 2 minutes and brainstorm and just think about any of these that may work for you, or what do you think you could do for your target audience and your people? All right. Make sense? Okay, go ahead. And if anybody starts to think like, oh, I can't do it, that's like for them, it doesn't work for me. Like literally there's something for everybody, and there's a subculture for everybody. So no matter what it is that you're thinking about you want to do, like there's something for you. When you're done, oh, she said repeat the question, sorry. So the question is, like, how could you get your first 10,000? What's that gonna look like for you? Is it gonna be a workshop method? Is it gonna be a membership? Is it gonna be speaking engagements? Is it gonna be one-to-one coaching? You know, like what type of format do you think you wanna do for your first 10,000? All right, we got one more minute. Okay, good, 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 good. All right. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So, okay, so hold a class on love. Awesome. I love that. Put yours in, you all. So those who are live with me on Zoom, go ahead and type yours in. Like, how are you going to get your first 10,000 from your book? What's that look like for you, right? Okay, so I know for me, I'll tell you that, like, I used to be one of those people, and I'm still working through some of this, but I used to be one of those people that felt really bad about making money. It's kind of weird, but I did. I felt like really bad about making money. And because of the community that I come from, like, I felt really bad about charging certain people in my community. But once I went through several phases of burnout, I realized that I'm not doing anybody any good, like, sacrificing myself or being a martyr. And also, even from the clients, like, there was one time before I actually gifted someone this entire program before, and they did absolutely nothing. They did nothing, right? I gave them and they did absolutely nothing. And it wasn't until I started getting around more and more entrepreneurs that I realized that people have to invest in themselves if they want to actually move the needle. You can't just give everything away and think that it's going to actually be, working for you. Like, one of the programs that I invested in for myself, I invested in a program. It was $45,000 to get into this program. $45,000. More than what I paid. I went to Howard for free, right? I didn't pay anything, So for me to drop that amount of money, even now I start thinking about it, like, for me to drop that amount of money, like, was absolutely crazy. However, that year that I was working with that coach, like, literally changed everything for me. And so it wasn't for myself till I started investing in myself. Then I started, like, realizing that, hey, money is actually good to come back to me too. Right? Like, I'm always paying everybody else. Like, it's good for it to come back to me too. You're going to find that same thing, right? So some of you all may want to do your $10,000 for a scholarship fund, or a new car, or a program that you want to start, a nonprofit, give some money to some babies, or, whatever it is that you want to do. I'll tell you, for me, this is my father right here. Like, I took him, he went with me to Jamaica last year on a whim. Like, I was turning 40, he was turning 75. And so we went to Jamaica, like, literally within 24 hours. We decided on a Monday, and the next day we left, like, that next day, and went. This is why I do many of the things that I do, because I like that freedom. I like to be able to just drop it at a hat and go. And as long as I have my laptop and my stuff, like, I can still work and bring in what I need to bring in. Right. So I built my stuff to be able to finance the things that I want to do. You may have your own different goals. You may not care about, travel. That may not be your thing. You may just want to be altruistic, and that's the only thing you want to do with your money. That's perfectly fine. But I want you to think about, what's your 10,000 going to be for? From this first project that you're going to do, like, your first 10,000, is it going to be for family? Is it going to be for fun, college, charity, house, or just plain old life? Maybe you want a new purse, or maybe you want, puts a down payment on a new house or something, like, whatever it is your prerogative. As time, what's that girl say? It's your business, right? It's your business. You get to choose what you're going to do with the income that you're bringing in. You get to decide that, okay? So type into the chat box for those of you who are here live. If you're not here live, you're watching the replay. I want you to think about, what's your first 10,000 going to be for? What are you going to demarcate that for, okay? What are you going to demarcate that for? All right, so let me read back some of the workshops and things that people said. So, okay, Teresa is looking at a workshop, 1 to 2 to 1 coaching, okay, and a membership. Awesome. Workshop, speaking engagements, maybe. Marriage preparation, 12-week workshop, weekend or weekend intensive, developing a train. That's actually, like, when you start certifying people in your method, they are certified people in your method, that changes the whole game. Like, I remember when I first started hearing this was with the sister locks. Those who are Black women may know about sister locks. Like, it was a way of locking the hair, interlocking the hair. But the lady just didn't like just do it how we normally do it. She actually trademarked the thing, you know, had certain tools and all this and stuff. So you could not even say you were doing Sister Locks unless you went through her training and were officially certified by her, right? You can do the same thing for your trainings. Like it can be your method, is branded as your thing, and then you teach people and you get them certified in your method. All right, so I have participated in some workshops already, but I wasn't paid. The people who participated are asking when they are going to start up again. So there is a camp where you can make money on the back end, even if you're not paid up front for a workshop. So there are times where you can make money from speaking for free as well, right? It depends on what your offer is. So I can get up in front of a group, and I learned this from one of my coaches, right? I can get up in front of a group, talk, and not get paid, but by positioning my offer, I get clients from that, right? So there are ways that you can do that as well. Okay. All right. So, okay. So Tahira has 2 in college now, 1 going next year, and she wants to buy a dream house at a dream location near the beach. Get it? So Judith, her first $10,000 is going to be going to helping family and a few close friends, as well as some of her dreams. Get it? All right. Auntie Tahira, family and charity. Hey, Katrina, small business investment and maybe student loans. I'm waiting for them to knock them stupid student loans out, right? Who wants to pay that crap? Can they just like fix that? We don't want that no more. We don't want that, right? All right, start a business. Awesome. I bet this is my kid again. Yep. Okay, start a business. Family, investment, philanthropy, new home, travel, visit grandchildren. Awesome, awesome, awesome. First 10,000, family, home, and travel. You know me, travel all the way. Travel, and like when I get to what I'm really getting to, I want to be like one of the first Black Muslim multimillionaires, and I want to fund my own like cultural centers around the nation. Like that's what I'm going for. So. All right, so whatever, it all starts someplace though, right? You don't get there without actually starting someplace. So you got to start first. Okay, so let's pause for a moment. Let's just recap on what you've learned today. Let's center ourselves back, right? So we learned 1, the overwhelm-free method to book writing. So I want some people to type that into the chat box. What was that? The overwhelm-free method. I know you don't have all the itty-bitty things, but what was the general gist of the overwhelm-free method to book writing? The second thing that we learned is why you don't have to be a big name in order to have a massive impact, right? You don't have to be a big name. And the third thing was how to leverage your book into your first $10,000 into higher ticket items. One chapter at a time, yes. One chapter at a time, yes. But there's also something else. It's 3 steps that I want to see if you remember. It's 3 steps when it comes to the like the overwhelm-free method of writing. 3 steps. Let me see. Oh, Judith got one of the steps. Yeah, brain dump. Yep. Planning, looking at chapters and outlining within. Yes. It's 3 steps though. I want to see if I did this part right and you guys got me. Yes, outline. So brain dump, outline. Yes, right. Brain dump, outline, right. Brain dump, outline, right. Okay, good. Yes, you got it. Awesome. So y'all getting some light bulbs? Are you all getting the light bulbs? I hope you all have some light bulbs going off. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but some of you all may be kind of feeling like this, like the light bulb went off, but you don't really know 100% how you're going to all pull it together. So let's see, let's check in. Are you all excited? I see light bulbs, awesome. Are you all excited about getting your book out there into the world and about the possibilities, the opportunities that are going to come to you as well, right? Yay, excited, awesome. So I want to show you how to take this amazing information that you've learned and then turn it into lasting transformation for you, right? I want you to be able to see how people are going to benefit from what you're doing, the sacrifices that you're making, and going to do this for themselves, okay? So I'm going to invite you all to press the easy button when it comes to publishing. I'm going to invite you all to press the easy button when it comes to publishing. So I want to talk to you about the Power Author Academy and what we're going to be doing over the next several months together as I'm holding your hand throughout this process. So let me just check in and make sure it's okay for me to go into the information about how our Power Author Academy works and how you can get more support for you going forward. All right, yes, yes, yes. So let me know, is it okay for me to go into the Power Author Academy? Okay, good. I see some thumbs up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so introducing the smart, the fun, the supportive way to get your book done. So this is the Power Author Self-Publishing Academy. This is exactly what I wish I had when I first started publishing. Now, everything that I built into this academy are built off of both my experiences and the experiences of my clients. So we are constantly adding new materials when a problem comes up, or when someone asks a particular question and I think of something that could really help them. The Power Author Academy is a living organism. It is an adaptive organism that adapts to what our people need and society. Like now we have COVID, right? Who would have thought before that we would have something like this that will change the way that people produce knowledge and share knowledge and all of that. So you have to always be flexible and be able to morph, right? So the Power Author Academy is based off of 3 different things. I'm going to talk to you about what those are. So the first thing that you get inside of our Power Author Academy are the exact systems and the methods to transform your idea into a legacy leaving bankable book that allows you to reach your unique book goals, whether that be to build a movement or a business, attract clients, get media attention, leave a written legacy, help somebody else, whatever your unique book goals are, that is what this process is for, right? So we leave nothing out. And so the first part is that you're learning every little detail, every strategy and trick that our team has used to publish multiple best-selling books. You're going to have that entire system in the publishing, in our self-publishing system. So we kind of call it like the Netflix of book publishing. So the foundation of the academy are all of our trainings that are recorded, that are on demand. So you can drop in there once a day. You can drop in there once a week. You can drop in there twice a day, 3 times a day, whatever you want, right? Whatever floats your boat. But this is the foundation where anytime you want to know what the next step is, as far as what's going on with your book, you don't have to wait for the next week. Like the next week, you get to go in right then and get the information that you need. So we call it like our on-demand Netflix of book power publishing. Now, so what you'll learn quickly is that, again, the wrong way to write a book is just to go down and sit with write it. I know many of you all, even with our challenge, those who went through our challenge and those who went through some other stuff, people get surprised that I just don't automatically first start talking about the content of the book. Like I don't start talking about brain dump writing and brain dump outlining and writing. I don't start there. We have to actually do some work to build up to that so that when we get to writing, it's smooth sailing, right? So the wrong way to write a book is the way that most people assume that you write a book, which is just you just sit down, wait for divine inspiration, and you go, right? So in the academy, you're going to avoid getting stuck in doubt in the overthinking phase, and you're going to avoid missing key areas that are necessary for your success. So you're going to learn how to polish and make sure that the book isn't loaded with errors or grammatical mistakes. You're going to learn how to make sure it's distributed, right, to bookstores and Amazon. And you're going to learn how to make it a bestseller. So again, I'm focused on the subculture, but I'm also really big on making sure that we make our initial splash on Amazon and get our book to be a bestseller on Amazon, because believe it or not, Amazon bestsellers are focused on the subculture. That's a whole nother subject for another time. All right, but so we want to go from idea like to bestseller, right? So literally all of our clients that have utilized our system are able to get their book to be an Amazon bestseller, at least for a few days or so, okay? Now, in the academy, we're also going to be giving you like access to some of the secret tools that publishers and self-publishers use. For example, one of them is this here. It's called KD Spy. This is a tool that you can use that helps you see where to place your book on Amazon so that you can have the best ranking. People think that's just by osmosis, but there's actually research that goes into that. So this is one of the tools. There are several others that we use, but KD Spy is one of the tools that we use to help determine where to place your book so that you can get it higher in the rankings and be an Amazon bestseller for as long as possible, right? As long as possible. So this is the foundation of the Power Author Academy. The first part is the knowledge, right? The first part is the knowledge. So as soon as you become a member, you will get access to our vault of business trainings, to our vault of publishing steps, and everything is broken down into bite-sized chunks. I don't believe in just dumping everything on you and you're trying to figure it all out. Stay on the task of where you are and you will see the light coming closer and closer and closer and closer. Don't get blinded by everything else. Stay on task, all right? So that's the first part of the Power Author Academy. This alone is amazing. This alone will save you tons and tons and tons and tons of time. However, I've added more. Now, the next part of the Power Author Academy is live coaching. Live coaching. So what that means is that you get me, you also get our team, so that we can help you massage your book. And we're going to meet at least once a week. So we have office hours at a minimum weekly, where you get to come in, ask questions, see whatever needs to move with your project. You get our undivided attention for a fraction of the cost of what it costs to work with us privately, right? You get that access within our office hours. Now, the reason this is so dope is because I've been in other programs, and sometimes they'll have like a monthly coaching call or something. And if you miss that one day, like you jacked up like for 2 months, you know? And I didn't want to do that. I know that writing a book takes time, and you also have things that may come to you like in the moment. And I wanted us to be able to help you with that. So we have literally built in weekly, which is unheard of, weekly coaching calls, live coaching for you all. So not just one of them, not 2, not 3, not 24, not this. You get 7 months of weekly coaching. 7 months of weekly coaching. All right. So no more guessing, no more confusion, none of that, right? None of that. Everything is geared towards allowing you to see the light and move towards the light. So here's Akila Nafisa Rashid. So she is one of the people who came through this academy a few years ago. She came through one of the early versions of the academy. But she used it to publish her book. But actually, she didn't just publish this book. She actually started a publishing house. So I taught her, in her case, like how to establish her own publishing house, because that's what she wanted to do, right? There's no competition for me. It doesn't hurt me at all. She has her subculture. I have my subculture, and both of them can exist perfectly fine. So she started her own publishing company, put out her book, Muslim Marriage Makeover. Dr. Anisa, if you don't have it, you may want to get her book just to kind of see, you know, what's in her philosophy as well. And she does a lot of workshops and speaking engagements and stuff like that. And now she is looking at like ramping it up, right? So she's looking at ramping it up and going to the next level. So that's the second part of the Power Author Academy. You get the knowledge, right? All of the training so that you can drop in whenever you want. And you also get me and my team like with support on a weekly basis. All right, it sounded good. If it sounded good, put some light bulbs or like some yeah. All right, but there's more. So I also have brought in a system, if you will, that allows us to really build off of our web of support that we build here in Book Power and the Power Author Academy. And what this means is that we're going to have group launch dates, and we're going to have group like beta reading type of things, so that you aren't always trying to search outside for someone that's going to give you feedback on your book. You're going to be able to get that within the academy. So our group launch date is going to be a date that all of us are going to come on. We're all going to be talking about our books at that time. We're all going to be selling our books and pushing each other to #1 bestseller. It's going to be a huge graduation. So you get to buy in, if you will, to that type of camaraderie and support for you and your book. Now, what we've known with networking and such is that we are what they say the sum. Is it the sum of your closest 3 or 5 people? I don't remember right now. It might be 3 or 5, right? But it means that who you hang around affects you. So we want to hang around good people. So just by virtue of being in the academy and showing up, right? Whether you can't make it live, you show up in the group, you will by osmosis have certain things that rub off on you. It's just human nature. I'm not saying this, it's like what science has shown, right? So just you being in the cocoon will allow you to do and have greater opportunities and greater success. So you get that as a part of the Power Author Academy. And so this allows you to help your book go fast, but also save time and money when you're doing your materials. So when you join the Power Author Academy, you get the knowledge, right? You get my support, and you also get the writing and launch partners. Now, isn't this amazing? Are y'all excited about this? Because I'm like super, okay, yeah. Okay, good. I wish I had this before. I really do. So what we added was something even a little bit bigger. So I know I'm great, right? You know, I got to pump my own self up. I know I'm great, and I know my team is great, but I know some even doper people, right? And so I decided that I was going to bring in guest instructors for you all. Guest instructors in media training, guest instructors in social media. Like media and social media are different, right? Media, I'm talking about getting onto the news, getting onto NPR, that type of media. And then social media, of course, is utilizing social media to build your platform. We have an Amazon ads person that's going to come in and talk about Amazon ads, a Facebook ads person, another person that's going to come in and talk about high ticket sales. So how do you sell a program that costs $2,000 or above? How do you launch a $100,000 mastermind? Like, how do people do that stuff, right? So I have an expert in high ticket sales that's going to come in and do some additional training with you all. So you get to have access to all of these other experts just by being a member of the Power Author Academy. And I can tell you that with exposure to different ideas, it will totally change your life. There are so many things that we think we know, like we think we know business, we think we know this, but there are other people doing stuff totally different and crushing it. So we have to be able to learn and be exposed to those things so then we can see how to bring it in. So you're going to get exposed to 12 different mentors throughout the year. Once a month, I'm bringing in a special guest speaker that's going to be sharing some different knowledge with you all. So this is super duper dope, and you don't have to pay extra for it. Like, you don't have to go and join their $2,000, $5,000 program. Like, just by being a member of the academy, you're going to get that. So super duper dope. You're welcome, right? So just a few examples of some of them here. So we have Dr. Avis Jones DeWeaver. She is a frequent commentator on Roland Martin stuff. Like, she's been all over the world. The girl is bad. The doctor is bad, right? We have storytelling by Lorraine Sugar. She is a beast when it comes to like media. She's a beast also when it comes to like orchestrating courses and things. So she's going to come in and talk about storytelling. And then I have Michelle PW, who's going to come in and do Amazon ads. So these are just 3 of the 12 guest instructors that are going to be coming into the Power Author Academy. These are optional. So you don't have to come, to these master trainings if you don't want to come. But, I don't know why you wouldn't, but they are optional. So I should say that they are optional. All right, so what you get when you come into the Power Author Academy is that you get the knowledge, right? You get all of the trainings that you come into at any time. Then you're going to get our live support. Then you're going to get the writing and launch partners. And then you're also going to have our special leverage mentors. So every month you get exposed to a new way of doing this thing called being a power author. Okay. Now, I've added this for you all after I started working with a couple of new people and they needed a little bit more organization. So I'm investing in building for you all an ultimate book planner. So this is going to be like our entire system. And this is a lot, right? Like, you guys are getting a lot, but it's going to be our entire system broken down so that even outside of the portal, like, you can just look and you'll know exactly what the next step is for your book, and you don't have to think. So it's like a checklist, but on steroids. So, and it's easy to follow. Like, I couldn't have organized it myself, so that's why I had to hire it out. So I've invested in getting this for you all, and we're building now like this ultimate book planner. So it's like a checklist on steroids. It's going to have all of these different things, templates, all this stuff. So all you have to do is kind of like plug and play. It's going to make the whole writing process like way, way easier. So I'm super duper excited about that. So you're going to get that as well. And then here are the templates. So the templates, you gotta know what templates are, like for the interior of the book, right? So you don't just put out a regular old Microsoft Word document. You have to make sure that it looks like a book and that the margins are right. It's a comfortable reading experience and all of that. So some of you all are going to hire out for that. Some of you all are going to use my team for that. But if your budget is like a little bit more squeezed, I wanted to make sure that if you have the time, like you can do it yourself. So I'm gifting you all 10 professional interior templates. And these are going to like be able to help you put your book into it. And so you know, like this is a good, you know, it's going to look good. You're going to tweak it and you're going to do the work and you're going to put the hours in to make sure that it's there. But we try to help you at whatever level it is that you're, you know, that you have. So some of you have more time than money. Some of you have more money than time. I always hire stuff out whenever I can because I learned that that's just the best way for me. But in the beginning, I had to do a lot of stuff myself, right? And so this, I wish I had at the beginning because it would have made it a lot easier. So I'm gifting it to you. I learned, now you get to benefit from what I learned. So recap of what you get so far in our Power Author Academy. You're going to get the knowledge, right? All the trainings. You're going to get our live support. You're going to get the writing and launch partners. You get the leverage mentors. You get those boss people coming in to teach you. You also are going to get our ultimate book planner. And then you're going to get the interior professionally designed templates, right? For Microsoft Word. Those are in Microsoft Word. All right, this sounded good. You guys excited so far? Because there's like a little bit more. Yes, okay, awesome. Now, the other thing that I wanted to give to you all is a freelance hiring guide. Because as you're going through this, I think Dr. Anissa asked me the other day, like, you know, what are some other people I may want to have in my corner, right? So at Book Power, we have our own internal book dream team. So we have our editors, we have our designers, we have our marketing specialists. We have all of these different people who work with our private clients, right? And some of you all with the Academy, I have 2 levels of the Academy now, which I'm going to go into a moment. So some of you all will be utilizing our book dream team to do all of those things for you. However, I never want anyone with like a lower budget or something to feel like they can't get it done. So you may be someone that needs to go out and hire your own freelancer for certain things. That's perfectly okay. I'm all about get it done, right? Get it done. So I'm going to give you like a little bit of a job description that you can use for an editor or something like that if you want to go out and hire from Fiverr or Upwork or Freelancer or, you know, one of those types of companies or such. So yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes effort, you know, to do those. But whatever you are, wherever you are, like there's just no excuse. There's no excuse to not take the next step because there's always a way to get it done. There's always a way to get it done. All right, always a way. All right, so now when it comes to the money, right? So when it comes to that guide of making your first 10,000, I showed you all some ways today. So I went over a few ways, different ways that you can make your first 10,000. But we're going to go into a few more as well with making your first $10,000. And of course, this is like to be repeatable. So I don't want you to just stop at 10,000. I want you to make that first 10,000 and then be able to repeat it, right? Be able to repeat that. So that leads me to a special offer that we have. So we have a special offer for those of you who are going to become a member today. And the special offer is that I am going to help you all. We have another bonus, but I'm going to help you all decide and decipher like what that $10,000 looks like for you. Like, what does that $10,000 look like for you? And I know some of you all may be like, well, why would I do that now before I write the book? But you ever heard of like Begin with the End in Mind by Stephen Covey, right? So if you kind of can think about the possibilities of where you want to go, then we can reverse engineer to make sure that you hit that. So this is the perfect time for you to think about possibilities and what you want to do afterwards, whether you decide 100% that you're going to do that or not. It's great for you to look at the possibilities and then see what plan can be put into action. So for those of you who are going to sign up today, I'm giving you a special bonus, right? A special bonus just centered around helping you all. It's going to be a private training just helping you all about that leveraging of your of your 10,000, what that looks like. All right, so let's recap again. So for the Power Author Academy, you get all the trainings, right? You all should be really good with what you get now. You get all the trainings, you get the live support, you get the writing and launch partners, you get the leverage mentors that are going to come in once a month, you get our ultimate book planner, you also get the professional interiors, you get the freelance hiring guide, and you're going to get your first 10,000 guide as well, right? So this is over. I shouldn't even say $15,000 really, because I mean, it's way over any of that. And especially when you start to look at like repeating and doing these things year after year after year. But let me ask you, if we take that $15,000, realm, if we take that $15,000, let's take 25. I would say it's really more like 25. So if we take that $25,000, right? If we take that $25,000, and if I said, okay, if all this did was to bring you, one new high ticket client a month, whatever your high ticket is, whatever that could look like for you, like, would it be worth it? If all this did was bring you one more speaking engagement, could it be worth it? If all this did was bring you like one more media mention, would it be worth it? If all this did was help you help one person who needed to hear your message, who needed to know like what your skills and your knowledge, help them live life a little bit easier, like, would it be worth it to you? Would it be worth it? So your mind is one of your most precious, it really is your most precious asset, right? Your mind is your most precious asset. So for the investment for the program, I had two choices that I could do. And I was trying to decide like which way I wanted to go for this program. And the first one was that I could just do that first part that I talked about, right? I could just have this program be just the on-demand videos only and be like, hey, there you go. Like, it's great, right? You can just follow that all by yourself. You save lots of time, you save lots of money, by following that, and you're good. And that would be great, but I know that even though it would be a cheaper program for you, it would be a less investment for you, many of you would end up being confused, right? Because you're going to have questions, and where do you go for that? So there's a second option, which is the option that I chose, which is where I support and love on you all, and it requires a higher investment, but you also get the results, which is where I'm about. I'm not about theory. I'm not about dreaming about it. I'm not about talking about it. I'm about like actually getting it done. So the results. And for that to happen, that means that we have to be fully supportive of you and really holding your hand, right? So we're gonna walk side by side with you to the finish line of getting your book done. Side by side with you to the finish line of getting your book done. I wanna see you hold your book in hand. I wanna see you make your first 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000. I wanna see you do that. And I want to see you being able to leverage this into whatever it is that you want to do, whatever your book goals are. All right. So when it comes to investment, it's not 25,000, which it may eventually get up to. It's not 10,000. It's not 5,000. So you can actually get started in the Power Author Academy for only your first payment of $497. So your first payment of $497. Or you can do a one payment of $2,997 and you get extra bonuses as well. So if you're able to do the full pay, I would say do that because you're going to get some extra bonuses as well. So the Power Author Academy, again, is the smart, easy, fun way to be able to get your book done, okay? Now, when it comes to you, right, you have two choices. So I'm going to come back to the bonus. I know you guys saw me go real fast. Don't worry, I'm coming back. So you guys also have two choices, right? So you can either decide that you're going to try to do it all yourself and figure it all out and, struggle along and be underwater and come back up and be like, you can do all of that, by yourself, or you can take a chance, right? You can take a chance and come in and get the love that we're going to have for you in the Power Author Academy. So Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, right? He said, don't worry about the failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. And I got to tell you, like, there are so many people that have come to me over the years and they wish that they had started their projects back when they first thought about them. Like they wish that they could have been, like how many 10,000s would that have been since the first time that they thought about this project? But they psych themselves out. They think they're not ready. They think they got to have 100% clarity and all of that. And they psych themselves out. And then they miss out on the opportunities that could be coming with their book. You have the opportunity right now to make a different decision. You have the chance right now to actually move forward towards your dreams and tell the devil or whatever else, could be yourself, right? Could be some self-sabotage. Tell yourself whatever you need to do in order to move towards that which is going to be good for you, right? So again, you can get started on your book for only $497 today. You'll see the full payment plan and what that looks like. And we also have a full pay option where you can start at the full pay, which is $2,997. Now, again, this is for the entire program. So we're taking you, not just the videos, this is the entire program, plus all of the weekly live trainings, plus all of those things that I mentioned earlier. So we're taking you through 7 months of hand-holding, 7 months of hand-holding. But I also have added 5 months of additional coaching. So you're gonna be with me for a full year of support. So I'm helping you throughout the entire year, right? So for those of you who are going to be paying in full, you're going to have a special VIP training. So on leveraging your book. So this is leveraging for bank, like I talked about earlier, but also leveraging for influencing and leveraging for change, right? Leveraging for bank, leveraging for influence, leverage for change. So that's going to be a special 2-hour VIP workshop that I'm going to do for those of you who are going to be paying in full for the program. So overall, like I want to see you win. I want to see you having your books out there like the Honorable Nalitha Butterfield from Bermuda. You know, I want to see you having your books out there like Kibani. You know, I want to see you having your books out there like all the other authors that we've been able to help. And it all starts with you making a decision to move forward. So here's Oprah. Y'all know I love Oprah, but I do love Oprah. I have a love-hate sometimes, but I do love her. So she said, you know, as far back as I can recall, my prayer has been the same. Use me, God. Show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, and what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself. And so I wish the same thing for you. I wish for all of us, really, to be used in the service of God. I hope that all of us are able to help our own subculture and also help our own selves by extension, right? So again, I want to ask you, how much is one new opportunity worth for you? And if you've been kind of on the sidelines thinking, looking at everybody else playing, everybody else getting their books out there, everybody else doing their TED Talks, and you're like, well, where's my opportunity coming? Then you got to step up. It's time for you to do something different. And it's time to you to get out there and play, right? It's time for you to step out and do something a little bit different than you've done before. And yes, it's going to require an investment on your part. And you may be having knees shocking like I did when I was investing 5 figures into myself. I had never even heard of anybody investing like multiple 5 figures in like a course or a coach or something. I had never even heard of that before. So I want you to understand it may be feeling weird. That's just normal. It's part of the growing pains, right? You're stretching to your new self. So here is Heather. She's one of our, she's a current power author, and she is finishing her book. And she said, I took inspire action, right? So it's all about the inspire action, taking action. She said, I wasn't really sure about my ideal client, but I'm totally amazed by the clarity of direction about my book launch after my experience with Zarina. So she is a grief recovery coach. So she didn't know at first, but she took inspired action. So for you, my friends, this is your wake up call. You can go right now to powerauthoracademy.com/join. You can click there. You can join into the academy. And if you join in right now, let me know. So come in and join in and let me know in the chat box that, hey, I'm in there, right? So I can congratulate you and we can welcome you to the academy. So Dr. Maya Angelou, she said, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. So we don't want to hold that burden. We don't want to walk around with that feeling year after year after year after year of, I should write this. I need to get it done. I want to get it out there. I'm telling you, the satisfaction that you have when you do this, you say you're going to do it and then you do it, it's amazing. It is an amazing feeling. And honestly, it leads to the second one being easier, the third one being even easier. So now when I'm putting out books, they're asking me, how are you doing those books so fast, Z? It's because I have a system. And I did the first one that was a little harder for me, but then I learned and then it became easier and easier. So what you're learning here is a skill that you can use over and over and over and over and over again, okay? So let me recap again for what you're gonna get in the Power Author Academy. You get all of the trainings. You're gonna get our live support. And let me know which part of this you all are most excited about too. So in the chat box, let me know like what you're most excited about within the Power Author Academy. So you're gonna get the trainings, you're gonna get the live support, you're gonna get our writing and launch partners, you're gonna get the Power Mentors, you're also gonna get the Ultimate Book Planner. Then you're gonna get the professional interiors. For those of you who are gonna be DIYers, you're gonna get the professional interiors. You're gonna get our freelance hiring guide. You're gonna get the first 10,000 guide as well. And for the, as I mentioned to you all, like our system is built off of getting your book done within 6 to 7 months, right? Like that's the system, 6 to 7 months, give or take, okay? We structure it down so you have bite-sized chunks. Everything is per, is broken down. But I decided that I was gonna give you all 5 extra months of live coaching. So I'm calling this Beyond the Book. So after our graduation that we all are going to have, like when your book is done, you're going to have 5 extra months of coaching with your current investment. So you're not going to have to invest again at that time. Like with the current investment, you're going to have 5 extra months of coaching, and I'm going to be helping you all beyond the book. So how do you use this book and do pitching? How do you use this book and turn it into your course or whatever it is that you're looking to do? So you get 5 extra months of coaching just with your initial investment into this Power Author Academy. And I have to tell you all, this is a limited price. It's not going to be this price anymore. It wasn't this price when I first launched it, and it's not going to be this price again anymore. It is incrementally going up, because when I think about the fact that I paid over 12 times, over 14 times of the investment that you all are getting for a fraction of what I'm giving you all, I cannot justify that, long term. So I'll be quite frank with you. The reason this program is so at this lower investment rate is because of 2 things. One is that I want your testimonial. I'm going to be 100% perfectly honest with you. I want your testimonial. What does that mean? Is that I'm allowing you all to benefit from being one of our first 100 authors that go through this. We have about, I think we're at about 28 or something. I don't know. I have to go back and look at our numbers. But like our first 100 authors that come through this particular academy, right? And I'm going to reward you for that. And then I want your testimonial. I want to be able to pump you up. I want to be able to share what you're doing. I want to be able to talk about you and be like have you on my refrigerator, right? Like, how your mama used to put you on the refrigerator? Like, that's what I want to do with you all. So I'm gifting you all this opportunity at this lower investment rate, because quite frankly, most 6-week programs are $2,000 for 6 weeks. Those of you who are in the coaching realm, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So 6 weeks of live support is typically, the investment is normally $2,000. This, you're at $29.97 for a whole year. So it's a no-brainer. All right, so here's the academy, right? So we have, you can get started at $497 today. That's going to be a monthly payment, 7 payments, or you can do the full pay of $29.95.97, or you can do the book Dream Team. Now let me explain exactly what this is, because some people know already off the bat that, Zarina, I want you all to work with me while I'm making the draft. I want you all to do my cover. I want you all to do the editing. I don't want to worry about anything else other than getting my words together. And so for that, we have a special site called the Book Dream Team. Okay, we have a special site called the Book Dream Team. And that special site is where we are allowing you all to come into the academy, but we're going to take over the project for you. Not take it over, but we're going to do all the work for you. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So here is one of our other clients from California as well. And so that book in his hand is one of the 2 books that he did with us, utilizing the same stuff that I'm telling you now. And this still shot is from him talking about his book through his Facebook Lives. So he does Facebook Lives all the time, always pulling in, building up his audience and such. And he is a prolific speaker already, but he's been utilizing the book to drive sales of the book, right? Utilizing the book in his lives to drive sales of the book, but also to get additional opportunities, okay? So it's there for you. It is there for you. Now, I know some of you all may be thinking like, what if I'm not a good writer? Or what if I'm super busy? Or I don't know how to market? Or I'm not used to being in the spotlight? How many of you all feel those kind of things some way? You may have something else. If you have another what if, type it into the chat box. If there's something else that you have, like, well, what if this? Or but this? But Zarina, what about this? I want to hear what your buts are. I want to hear why you would not come into this program. I want to hear why you would not stretch and invest yourself. And I know for some of you all, the financial investment may be a stretch. You may have to go and do some things to figure out how you're going to get into this program. I understand that already, right? But I want to know from you, why would you ever allow something to sabotage you? Like, what is that thing that you're calling up? That fear, that doubt, what is it? What would stop you from actually getting the dreams and things done that you want to do? You want to always think about this, whether it be for this particular program or anything. Like, look back in your life and see where there are other times where you self-sabotage. Like, was it a time that you was just trying to be cheap and you just didn't want to spend the money? Or was it a time where there was some internal fear that came up? Like, what were some of the things that you allowed to self-sabotage you? Go back and do your own inner armor, your own inner audit, for those things, and stop it. Like, stop it. It's now time for us to go to our next levels. And that requires growing, and that requires doing some things differently. So I don't want you on the sidelines. I don't want you just like chilling out, looking on the side, trying to get in. I want you playing, right? I want you to be a participant in this process, not just an outside observer. You're a participant observer, okay? So you can either drown in those what ifs, right? You can either drown in those what ifs, or you can come in now and then you can thank yourself, right, for actually taking the steps, right? You can thank yourself, or next year you can be like, dang, I really wish I had come in. Dang, I wish I had did this. Don't do that to yourself, right? Don't do that to yourself. All right. So class starts July 27th. Class starts July 27th. So month 1, is all about the planning, outlining, researching. You're going to be finding a model book. We're going to do some of those things to help you even restructure like what your book is going to be about. We're going to make it even easier, right? Month 2 is writing the draft. 4, editing. 5, polishing and publishing. 6, planning and launching. And then in February, we're having our group graduation, okay? February, we're having our group graduation. And as I told you, I'm actually going to be gifting you. It comes out to be about 5 months. So I should actually change that. So there's about 7 months that I built in for the production of the program, production of your book. And I'm giving you a couple of extra weeks to make it just a smooth process for you. And then I'm going to gift to you 5 additional months of support beyond the book. So your book is done, right? I'm going to gift to you 5 additional months of support just by being a member here. Right? All right, so let's pause for a moment. And let me answer any questions that you all have about this opportunity. And if you all have any of those what ifs, like, let's bring them forward now. I want to know what would stop you from joining the program. Let me hear from you all, and be honest with yourself. Like, what would stop you from joining and taking this opportunity for yourself? All right, so I think Katrina was saying that the most thing she was excited about was the $10,000 guide and the recorded videos. Awesome. Okay, Amina, is there a $497? It's the $497 a monthly fee. So yes, There are 7 payments of $497, or you can do a full payment of $29.97. So you can do a 1 flat fee and you get some extra bonuses and such, or you can do a monthly fee for the a monthly investment for the Academy. All right, so Dr. Anissa, you sent a private message. I know you and your daughter are coming into the Academy, so welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome you all to the Power Author Academy. I really can't wait to help support you and be the midwife and help you get your books out there into the world. So I will send you everything that you need in order to get finalized and get in, and we'll be good to go. All right, Katrina, can you roll over to the Dream Team at a future time? That is a very good question. And yes, you can roll over to the Dream Team at a future time. The Dream Team comes with not only those, like the editing, all that stuff that I mentioned. You also have within the Dream Team, like more one-on-one private coaching, right? So you get opportunities to like meet with your coach one-on-one. So that also comes in the Dream Team. And yes, you can do that. Okay, Ada, if I do not have the money today, what is the amount before July 27th? So it's going to be this same amount. So the price is not going to increase before July 27th. It's just that some of the extra bonuses and things won't be there, right? But the price itself will not increase before July 27th. In August or in any other time that it's going to incrementally go up. So that's just the way I have it structured. So the price is going to incrementally go up as the time goes along. Okay, so Amina, so here comes some truth bombs. Let's go into these. So what would stop me from investing in the Academy? I don't believe I'm a good speaker. All right, so Amina, I'm gonna be real frank with you. Where in this presentation and any of the things that we've gone through, where did you get that you have to be a good speaker in order to be a good author? Where did you get that? Did you get that from me? Did you get that from you? Did you get that from society? Did somebody tell you at some point that you have to be a good speaker in order to be a good author? So let's take that part first. So where did you get that idea that you have to be a good speaker? Okay, where did you get that? Now, while she's typing that in, for those of you who are joining, go into powerauthoracademy.com/join. powerauthoracademy.com/join. And any of you who have questions, let us know what questions you have. If you have something that's stopping you from saying yes to yourself, let's talk about that. Let's see if this is a good fit for you. Let's see if that's a real, honest, good fit for you to walk away right now, or if there's something else that we should be doing to make it happen for you. Let's talk about those things. Okay, so dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so I'm gonna pause my yes. I have to do the prizes. Okay, let me see. Judith, what will stop me right now is that I am still unemployed because of my fibro and I don't have anyone I can borrow the money from right now. Okay, so Judith, like you have something that is a real issue, right? You never want to go, you have a real issue. So even still, Judith, your job is going to be to figure out what can you do. So if you can't come into the Academy right now, like you just absolutely cannot come into the Academy, then what are you going to do? Okay, what are you going to do? Amina, I'm thinking of how I would want to make money by speaking engagements. So Amina, I can probably push back with you on that idea of you not being a good speaker. Sometimes we say those things and it's not actually true, right? You may be a very great speaker. And if you think about some of the great speakers, they speak like they talk. So if you can talk to your girlfriend, if you can talk to your family and friends and loved ones, and they can understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, they can understand the ideas that you're putting forward, then you can talk to anybody. Speaking does not have to be something all magical. You can learn additional skills and things like that, but in the beginning, talk the way you talk to your friends. The same way you're going to write the book. You're going to write the book in a conversational language. So I can probably push back and say that you may be a better speaker than you even, think of. That can be your own internal self-sabotaging type of thing. But even still, speaking engagements is not the only way to make money with a book either. So there are other things that you can do, right? There are other things that you can do. All right, so for those of you who are joining the Academy right now, I want to know from you who is joining. So go in and put powerauthoracademy.com/join. You can go and join. And if you're on the fence, let's talk about why you're on the fence. If you have a question, let's answer that question right now. If you have a doubt, whether about me or about you, let's identify what that doubt is and then go through. My job for you is to be able to help you make a clear decision for yourself, right? A clear decision, not one where you feel all like, I wish I had done it, but I psyched myself out. Like, no, right? We want you to be, we want you to show up for yourself, you know, invest in yourself, be able to move yourself forward, okay? So I want to hear from all of you, whether you're coming in right now or if you have questions, let's go with that. All right, so the first prize, free book cover. Uh-oh, I forgot to pull up my thing. Hold on, I have to go pull it up. I have to pull it up, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. Wait. 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 Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, 10. Let me refresh the screen. Random. Okay. Okay, so give drum roll. Okay, so free book cover is how do I say it wrong? Shoot. Liney's, Sister Liney's. Sister Liney's. Okay, this is Sister Liney's Muhammad. So you have won a free book cover from us. So what you need to do is to email us. Is she on here? I don't know. Let me see. Is she here? No. So we'll have to send her her stuff. So yeah, she's not here. So she'll still win. She'll still win. But if you watch the replay, you need to email us at support, and maybe we'll reach out to you as well, so that you can cash in your prize, the free free book cover. All right. So the next one is the free private book planning session. Okay, the free private book planning session. So AD Cock Amina 4. I don't know which Amina is that. Which Amina is that? AD Cock Amina 4 at gmail.com. Oh, okay. It's spelled differently on here than that. That's why I got confused. Okay, so you won a free one-to-one private book planning session. Yay! Yay you! Yay you! Awesome. Okay. Yes, I'm happy for you. Yay, 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 yay. All right. Now the last one is going to go to someone that I can't actually say because I'm not at liberty. I'll just say that the winner is Amina. Not that Amina, the other Amina. So the other Amina, what's your last name? What is it? Amina, what is her last name? Hold on, pulling it up. Amina Allen. Yes, Amina Allen. So it'll come out later, but she has won free entry into the Power Author Academy. So you have won free entry into the Power Author Academy. So congratulations to all three of our winners. Sister Linese, we will connect with you. Amina, which Amina was the middle one? Amina Haidara. So you won, which one did you win? You won the private book planning session. And then Amina Allen, you won entry into the Power Author Academy. So congratulations to all of you all. Yay, 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 yay. All right. So for all of us are winners, right? All of us are winners. And whether you decide right now, whether you're going to psych yourself out or sit yourself down or not come in or all those types of things for not valid reasons, that's your decision, right? Or if you decide that you're going to stretch. And some of you all may need to figure out how you're going to get that $497. right? Like, how are you going to get that $497 to come into the program? But I want to see you all with us. I want to see you all like doing the pre-work. This month of July, you know, we're starting on July 27th. So you have now until July 27th. So I've actually built in pre-work, right? That is centered around priming you and helping you even jumpstart so that when we start in July 27th, like you're that much more far ahead. So you're going to get access right now. Basically what I'm saying, we're not stopping. There's not a break in time, if you will, right? Like you're starting right now, and then the official orientation is July 27th. So you're either going to thank yourself or you're going to kick yourself. Which one is it going to be, right? Which one is it going to be? So again, for the Academy, you can start right now. You can get into the Academy itself, or you can come into the Academy Plus, which is the Academy Plus the Book Dream Team. All of the information is at thepowerauthoracademy.com/join, and you can come in and get all of your information and get into the program. So when is the deadline to pay the $497? Okay, awesome. Tara is in. Tara is in. When's the deadline to pay the $497? So as soon as you pay, that's when you start getting access to the materials. So the earlier you pay, you know, the better. Like there's a special bonus for those of you who are going to be joining today. It's unadvertised. And there's also a special bonus for those of you who join by July 4th, which is tomorrow at midnight. So by tomorrow at midnight, well, I should say tomorrow, 11:59 p.m., right? Tomorrow, July 4th, 11:59 p.m., there's another bonus that is just for you all who take fast action. I love to read. I learned this from one of my coaches, but I love to reward, you know, fast action takers, because I do indeed. I found as well that people who take action fast, you know, people who make a decision and jump in and go, like when opportunities like this come up, those are my best testimonials and they're my best support folks. You know, I love being able to teach them because they do it what you say. They do it. So I love that. And you'll find that for your programs as well. Like the people, when you're doing your things, no matter what it is, right? The people, when you want somebody's asking you to speak and then they send you the contract right away, or somebody is, they like you put out a program and you want they're registering. The people who register right away, like they're going to be there. You know what I mean? You're going to find the same thing. So fast action takers, you want to reward them with the things that you're doing. So I do the same thing with what we do. We always reward our fast action takers. So those of you who are going to join today, you have the special bonus all around the leveraging, right? And those of you who join by tomorrow, there's another bonus as well for those of you who join by tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so let's see. All right, so let's see if there are any additional questions. I have a lot of questions that people often ask me, so I'm going to bring those in, and then let's see. Let's see if there's any additional questions. So I'm going to stick around for about 30 more minutes at the max. You guys who are joining, come on in at powerauthoracademy.com. I'm going to answer the questions that people submitted in, and then any questions you have, whether it be about the Power Author Academy, whether it be about your topic, whether it be about your leverage, all of those things is fair game, okay? So you can come in and ask those questions right now. All right, so what if I'm an introvert? I hear this all the time. So what if I am an introvert? If you're an introvert, then that's going to be easier for you to get the time to write because you're going to be writing by yourself. So don't worry about being an introvert. Don't worry about being somebody who doesn't like to talk a lot, any of those things. You still are going to be able to find success because you're a human and there are other humans who are just like you. There are other humans who are just like you. So whatever personality traits you may think are of like what do you call it? Like a failing or a flaw, like best believe that there are other people who are just the same way. Okay, so let's see. Oh, are you guys raising your hand? Did I miss that? Do you guys have questions, Sister Tahira and Tahira? If you do, put it in the chat box and I'll unmute you to ask your questions. Okay. let's see. So, oh, the other question people ask me, what if I have no clue what to write about? So in the Power Author Academy, we go through different ways to come up with the right topic for you. So there's a process for that. So we're going to go through that. So you don't have to have 100% clarity, right? You do not have to have 100% clarity on what you're going to be writing about at the beginning. It is all going to come through the process. So trust the process. All right. I think I skipped one. Oh no, here we go. Yes. So what if I don't have anyone supporting me in my family? All right. So we are our own family now. We are your family when it comes to book publishing. So if your family, your real family, your blood family is not interested, just lean on us, right? Just lean on us. Okay, Tahira, I wanted to ask about books where you research your own family history. Have you done one of those? I have not done one of those. Research your own family history, like through ancestry.com or African Ancestry or any of that. I haven't done any of that, and I haven't done any of the like genealogy type of work or such. But what you do is whenever you have an idea or a type of book that you're looking for, we're going to teach you how to go about finding things similar to that so that you can use that for your process. It's going to influence your process. So, and there's always going to be something that's similar, right? All right, what if you can't make the live sessions? So if you can't make the live sessions, don't worry, we are going to have them recorded. So you'll be able to get the recordings and you will be able to submit your questions as well. So you can always submit your questions to the portal and then we will answer your questions live during the live session. And we also have a private Facebook group. So we have a private Facebook group, which is just for you all, where you can come in and ask questions at any time. So that's going to be monitored by myself. It'll be monitored by 2 other members of my team as well, so that we are there answering your questions. Okay, so what if I've never done anything like this before? So a lot of people, like, this is their first book. This is their first book. So you're in the right place. You know, you're in the right place. You shouldn't feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. Like, you're in the right place. Whether you are working on your 10th book or your first book, the things that you learn here are foundational things that everybody needs to go through if they're going to produce a quality book. All right. So the fact that you're a newbie is perfectly fine. Okay. Okay, so Tahira, I find that I need to attend the live sessions even though it's 2 a.m. here. I love that because it's sacrifice. You know, I love that. I have one of my coaches who is in Australia, and so sometimes the timing can be kind of weird. But I mean, it's what I want to do. Like I have to make a decision, right? What do I want to do? Am I going to say that I'm going to do the things I'm going to do, or am I just going to keep like, oh, I can't do that because of X, Y, Z? So it's going to be a stretch for you, right? You know, to get up at 2:30 in the morning, that's a stretch for you. However, you're making it happen. And we also know that it's a temporary stretch. So there's only going to be a certain amount of time that you're going to be putting into the writing of this book. And then you're going to be done. Right? You're going to be done. So it's not that you have to get up at 2:30 in the morning forever, right? You're going to be done. Okay. So what if something happens that I need to pause? So I'll tell you, you know, like with COVID, all of that, that taught us that there were some times where people have life, right? But that's one of the reasons why I decided to gift to you all 5 extra months of live coaching. So you have 5 extra months of live coaching built in at the same exact investment level, okay? So if something happens, you know, you first evaluate to see, is this something real or is this something I'm doing to sabotage myself? Because sometimes you can have roadblocks that you don't really need to stop, but you are psyching yourself up. So you got to evaluate yourself and be honest with yourself. That's a part of being a power author. Being honest with yourself and taking the thing of no excuses. I'm gonna see if I can find this video. I'm gonna look for this video while I'm talking to you all. I saw this video the other day that was like a perfect illustration of this. Let me see, of this with no excuses. It was absolutely golden. I hope I can find it. I absolutely hope that I can find it. Let me see if I'm gonna be able to. It was so It was so perfect. Dang, am I going to be able to find it? Sports. Um, okay, I think I might be able to find it. So are all the live sessions facilitated by me? No. So most of them are facilitated by me, but not all. So we have, of course, we have the monthly sessions that are going to be with the Power Mentors. So those are going to be there. And then I also have like some writing coaches that are going to do some of the live sessions and office hours as well. So that's that. Let me pause this for one moment because I want to show you all this video that I just found the other day. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, wait, let me turn it up. Okay. Watch this. This is like the perfect illustration. Okay, work. So this is how we're going to be. Team, no excuses. Even when, okay, here we go. Yes. Y'all can see that, right? Wait, I'm going to restart it. So can everybody see it? Put it in the chat box if you can see it. Because this is like, this thing pumped me up. Okay, so you can see it. Okay, great. Look at him. He's struggling, y'all. He's struggling. His knees are buckling. That's how it is sometimes. He's trying to get to the finish line. He can't get there. Everybody else whizzing past him. He's falling down. And look, he said, I'm just going to roll. Get it? Look at that. He rolled to the finish line. He actually rolled to the finish line. So that is how it's going to be sometimes. That is how it's going to be sometimes. There are going to be times when your knees might buckle, either from fear or just pure exhaustion. There are going to be times where you're going to see other people like whizzing by you. Like, I got my outline done, and you're going to be like, mine's not done. You know, I got my cover is not done. You're going to be looking at other people whiz by you, and you're going to be like, dang, what's up with my stuff? Right? What's up with my stuff? But you don't stop. So he got up like 3, 4, 5, 6 times, right? His knees was buckling, fell down. First he tried to crawl, and then he was like, all right, I'm just gonna lay down and I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna roll. So this is the mentality that we adopt in the Power Author Academy, that we can have problems, we can have things that come up, right? We can have things that slow us down, but we keep going, even if we have to roll to the finish line. So that's how we're going to be with you all. I'm going to be on the sideline cheering you along as you work through everything you need to work through to get into the finish line, to get into that space of being a published author. So yes, Amina, he did it, right? Yeah, Tahira, he had some creativity. I don't know who told that boy to go roll like that, but that's that perseverance. So he absolutely did it. He absolutely did it. And that's what we want here. All right, so let me see if there are any other questions from you all, or I'm going to answer the other ones that came back in. Let me go back and share this again. So share. Okay, so we already answered that one, whether somebody needs to pause. So how do I deal with self-doubt? Anybody dealing with that, like self-doubt? So the self-doubt is normal. Let me say that. It comes up for everybody. Let me say that. So you think people like Oprah, you know, Will Smith, you know, blah, blah, blah. They don't have self-doubt. Everybody has self-doubt. All they do is they put on their inner boss and they keep going anyway, right? So Beyonce says she has Sasha Fierce, who was her alter ego. So she'll put Sasha Fierce on when she goes out there and is ready to perform. You may want to make up your own alter ego. So you may come up with your own, like whatever you feel down or like, oh, I can't do it. Like you put your own alter ego on that like reminds you of bossing up and getting it done, right? It's perfectly okay to fake it till you make it. And you may always be faking it. Like everybody may always have some sense of self-doubt. But again, do we allow self-doubt to stop us? No, right? We acknowledge it. We take inventory of it. We can dissect it and see where it's really coming from. And then we move forward, right? And then we move forward. So how much time will I need? So we already know that the thing is built for you to do your book within 6 to 7 months, right? And so you'll see a timeline generator. There's a timeline generator in the Academy. We put the launch date in, and then it calculates all the other stuff out, so you know when the outline is due, when the cover should be done. Like all of that stuff is calculated for you, so you don't have to think about that. So as far as time, I would really love for you all to put 30 minutes a day, like 30 minutes a day. So I know some of you are like, oh my God, how could I ever put 30 minutes a day in? You may not do 30 minutes at one time. You may do 10 minutes 3 times a day, you know, but it's a lot better for you to have smaller bite-sized chunks of time than to like work on your book one time for in 3 months, you know, for 10 hours or something, while your brain's going to get burnt out, all of those types of things. So I would rather you kind of work on a smaller, consistent basis than try to do everything in one weekend, because people typically get burnt out when they try to do so much on one weekend. It's too much pressure, it's too heavy, and then when you don't do it, you feel like a failure, right? So yeah. But the time will really be based off of you and how you work as well. Okay, so what if I'm not sure how to market the book? Is this something you guys have been kind of thinking about? Like, what if I'm not sure how to market the book? And if you're not sure how to market, that's what the Academy is for. Like, we're going to go into some of those things for you so that you can see what are some ways that you're going to be able to launch and market the book. But in general, right, we always are building off of your network, your network, and then the greater society. Like, that's the 3-pronged approach. And we teach you within each of those. We have templates, we have all that kind of stuff, you know, that's going to help you. We have emails, sample emails that you can write to people. We have other things that you can post up on social media. So we have like 52 prompts, 52 weekly prompts of things to help you promote and post up on social media. So like, if you can't think about what to talk about as far as your book, you don't have to think about that. Like, we already got it for you. So you can just use our prompts. Okay, let's see. Did I skip any other questions? I think those are mostly all the questions that I had that people sent in. Yeah, I think that's it. So yes, and let me see if I missed any questions over here with you all. Where's my chat box? Chat. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right, Teresa, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, so I hope you come into the Academy. We would love to have you with us and working through and creating your materials. And if you have any questions, let us know. And if there's a specific reason why you're not coming in, but you kind of feel like you should be coming in, then let us know that too. It's always good for us to be able to hear from everybody, but we're happy to have you here. Take care. All right, so any last questions that you all have centered around the Power Author Academy? Go to powerauthoracademy.com/join, powerauthoracademy.com/join, and there you can join into the Power Author Academy. Get ready, get started, and we will have you in our academy. Dr. Anissa, we're so excited to have you all here. I don't know if I saw your private question. I'll have to look and see. Dr. Anissa, we're so happy to have you here. Zarina Nadir, welcome into the Power Author Academy. Tahira, welcome into the Power Author Academy. We're excited to have you all with us. So Katrina, I don't see your private question. Send it to me again, and then I can answer it. I would prefer to answer it here, because what I find is that a lot of times people have similar questions, so it can help somebody else as well if you have that. Oh, Teresa put, yes, excuses are tools of the incompetent, used to build monuments to nothing, and those who often use them are seldom good at anything else. That's exactly what we used to learn at university. Okay. Okay, so 2 things. I'm wanting to do both fiction and nonfiction. I'm concerned there won't be enough training towards that in the existing videos. Maybe now is not the time. Also, So I've done my redraft, and would that go towards my into the academy, or would that be in addition? Okay, so to answer your first question, first of all, with the fiction, yes, there is not material inside of the Power Author Academy geared around the writing of your fiction draft. So the writing of your fiction draft, the writing of your novel is not covered inside of the Power Author Academy. The Power Author Academy is geared directly towards nonfiction books, which are the memoirs, the how-to books, the your life story, the process, the tip books, all those type of things, right? So all of that is geared is inside the Power Author Academy, and our writing coaches are specialists around that inside the academy. For fiction, no. If you strictly only want to do a fiction book, then don't come into the academy for your fiction book, because you're going to get all the other stuff that is necessary for an author in general, but that writing piece about how to write your novel, you're not going to get that, right? You're not going to get that. Now, anyone who wants to do a nonfiction book, hands down, should come into the Power Author Academy. So I would say if you want to do both, then still the Power Author Academy is going to teach you all those foundational steps that are going to help you get your nonfiction book done. And then also, yes, you will still be able to come into the into this work, right? Into this and yes, you get what I'm saying. All right. So Tahira wants to do both too. So you're going to learn everything about writing. You're going to learn how to be a better author in general. That's why we call it the Power Author, right? You're going to learn how to be a better author in general in the Power Author Academy. And these are skills that you're going to apply to whatever other projects you decide you want to do, right? You may decide that you have a lot of different projects that you want to do. This is the foundation for you. So you're going to just reapply the system over and over and over again, right? You just reapply the system. But I do want to be clear, it is not geared towards writing a fiction novel. So I do want to be clear about that. All right, and so you said that you had, you did one of our manuscript evaluations. And so you want to know if the manuscript evaluation cost goes towards the Power Author Academy cost. And no, it does not go towards the Power Author Academy cost, because the manuscript evaluation was like a separate thing that was like geared directly towards that. Like that work has been done, if you will, right? Like that work has been done, if you will. Now, so for you, for the fiction, because your manuscript evaluation was for a fiction novel, right? And for the fiction novel, that is not a good fit for the academy. However, like you asked me about for the nonfiction side, like, you know, upgrading into the academy and the book dream team, right? So if we were doing a manuscript evaluation around a nonfiction book, and then we were, you know, coming into the academy, then we could upgrade into the book dream team for that, because it's all centered still around the same type of coaching. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like for you, like it's still around, it's in our wheelhouse. For our fiction authors, our book dream team, we always work with our fiction authors one-to-one. So our fiction books, we do them one-to-one, because the academy is built around nonfiction. Okay, so let's see if there are any other questions. Any other questions centered around this? So I'm really excited about those of you who are coming in. I can't wait to help you all get your books out there into the world. And I want you to celebrate even just getting through this challenge. You know, this was a lot for you to do in a short span of time, right? Normally what you've done here can be spread out over a month. So I want you to recognize that for those who are in the challenge. Those of you who are just listening to this for the first time and you're coming into the academy, welcome. I can't see all the other comments and such, but welcome. And those of you who have questions, welcome. You know, we can't wait to help you go forward. Just bring those questions to us so that we can answer your questions. So the academy is only for nonfiction, but we do help with fiction. Yes. So we have fiction coaches, and we have, you know, I was going to pull up some of the books that we've done for fiction authors. Yes, we do work with our fiction authors, but we work with them on a one-to-one basis. So the academy is not built around giving you feedback like on plot development or character development, you know, those types of things that go into building a novel. that's not covered in the academy. So I just want to be like really upfront and clear, because we want to make sure that you know like what you're that if you come in and you want that feedback on just the writing of the novel, like you're not going to get that in the academy. It's specifically geared towards nonfiction writing. So business books, how-to, memoirs, anthologies, tip books, all of those types of things. Like that's what the academy is built off of, is built on. And we do that very well. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions? So who else is joining? Katrina, what's keeping you on the fence? I want to know what's keeping you on the fence, because you're still here. Amina, I think you told me what had you on the fence, but I don't know if I missed it or not. So type in what has you on the fence as well. Judith, I know where you are. And then let's massage and see like what needs to happen in order for you to take advantage of the opportunity for yourself. So we don't want anybody out who should be in. That's our motto. Like nobody out who actually should be in. Oh, okay, cool. So Katrina's in. Yay. I was just making sure. She was like, oh no, I'm joining. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Katrina's a power author. All right, Amina. Welcome to the Power Author Academy, Amina, as well. So see you guys soon. You'll be getting emails from us with the next steps and all of that. So you'll look out for that. For those who are joining right now and you're going to get the extra bonuses, when you join in, you will get an email from us within the next 48 hours with like your login, all that kind of stuff, you know, how to get into the system. You'll get all of those juicy details. So you will see that as well for that. Okay, awesome. Welcome you all to the Power Author Academy. I seriously am excited about being your midwife. I can't wait to help you all come in. So Amina, share this out, share the masterclass with other people, and then let's see if someone else, you know, may want to join you within the program. Judith, I really enjoyed this challenge. It really helped make my day go more positive. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Amina's in too. The other Amina's in. Awesome. Welcome to the Power Author Academy. Yay. Oh, I love this group. I'm so excited to be able to help you all. So go to powerauthoracademy.com/join. If you're doing the, the payment plan, go ahead and make your first payment now. And you'll get an email from us within the next 48 hours, which has all your login information so you can get access to the portal with the videos and the trainings, and also our pre-work. Like there are some things I want to do just to warm you up and get you ready for our July 27th orientation date. So that's going to be there as well. Okay, that's there as well. So welcome. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the opportunities that are going to be coming your way. Like, I can't wait to see how it's going to be a worker bee, you know, for you. So welcome, Katrina. Welcome, Amina. Welcome, the other Amina. Welcome, Tahira. Awesome. And Dr. Anissa and Zarina. Welcome all of you all to the Power Author Academy. So any questions that you all have, you can always email us at support@bookpowerpublishing.com. So support@bookpowerpublishing.com. We're here to answer your questions. If you have any technical issues, you know, email us as well. And we're good. All right. So I think, are there any other questions? I ended like a little bit early. Any other questions that you all have that I can answer right now? I'm excited for you too, Amina. I am absolutely excited for you. But I'm not just excited, I'm proud of you, because you made the decision, you made the steps, you showed up here, right? You put in the effort. And so you're going to be the one that's going to reap the rewards and the benefits from that. So you should really give yourself a round of applause and pat yourself on the back, because you are making the right decisions. Like you're moving in the right direction. And what you'll find is that as you begin to evolve into your next self, as you begin to elevate to different levels, and I don't mean like elevate, like meaning like we were on a lower level now, but I mean that there's growth that happens, right, for human beings. There's personal growth, there's spiritual growth, there's financial growth. There are multiple levels of growth that happen for human beings, right? And when you begin to get around different environments and expose yourself to different people and different ideas, you will find that different things start to happen in your life. And it's one of the most beautiful things, you know, it's one of the most beautiful things ever. So I'm excited for you, like for being here, for showing up for yourself, for saying yes, you know, for making an investment in yourself and for getting it done. Yeah, getting it done. She's like, thanks, I'm proud of myself and everyone else. Yeah, you all should definitely be proud of yourself. All right, so I don't see any other questions. So I love you all. Welcome to the Power Author Academy. We're going to be getting started, right? July 27th. All of you register. For those of you who register today, you get a special bonus. For those of you who register tomorrow, today you get 2 special bonuses. Tomorrow you get 1 special bonus, right? And by July 4th at midnight, July 4th, 11:59 p.m. And we can't wait to help you all get in. All right, YouTube. So good night, Tahira. Sleep well. All right, bye everybody.